Yeah, I remember. Are we recording right now?
Yeah, we're recording, but I can cut in whenever.
Okay.
Whenever we're flowing.
I was laughing when I first was starting. I was in my living room, and the sound, I didn't understand how bad the arched ceiling was and the big glass window. So one mic always sounded great, and the other person sounded like they were 5 miles away.
Oh, yeah?
And so...
What kind of mics were you using? Like a stereo mic?
It was one that looked similar to that, but it was like it had to be right at you. It wasn't a direction. Whatever the direction was, I had Nick Jones do it, and I'm like, you have to talk like right. And he's like, it's like there's a dick in my face. Like, well,
is that what it reminds you of? Huh?
That you know that.
He's like, this is bringing back memories.
Right. Like, you said it, Nick. I didn't say that. Anyway, it's better now. Now I'm downstairs. I've got blankets and rugs and.
Well, you're a creative person. Good job with the blankets and rugs idea.
Yeah,
it definitely helps. That's why I put the curtain there.
Okay.
Built this little soundproof thing here.
Is that like egg carton? What's it called? Is it sound absorbent?
This foam in here. It's I bought it at Costco because it said sound absorbing.
No way.
So.
Costco was selling that?
Yep.
What the heck? Costco
got everything.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even think to check there. That looks so cool. I love the mid-century modern. I love that vibe, and that has a very.
I want to like paint. I gotta paint something. I got time.
Yeah.
Oh, not enough time.
Never know.
If I had enough time, I would have had it done already. But I was listening to your podcast with, oh my God, it's freaking Hempelman's butt buddy. What's his name?
Oh, Kyle too.
Kyle, yeah. Yeah, I was listening to that podcast you did with him, and you had some like audio problems at the very beginning. You're like, the audio is acting weird, but we're gonna like work our way around it.
Yes.
And you did phenomenal.
Thank you. I'm trying to think now if we had. So I have a little thing where I got a 4 mic, like we clip it on, and has the fuzzy things I never use. Oh, before we went to the Alliance winter camp, I got that because I'm like, I'm going to be at this camp with some really like world famous guys. And I have no idea if I have the audacity to be like, hey, will you talk to me? But Wade's like, you got to get it. You can talk to people that are attending. So I did. It was the first time I was like, hey, what are you doing at this camp? Anyway.
What kind of mic? A lav mic? Like just a detachable one that you bring close?
It was like the little teeny, like you clip on.
Yeah, wireless little lav clip.
And you like clip it. Yes. So you clip it on and you plug it into your phone, and then you just can have the phone across the room and then just talk to people. It was pretty good. But I think there were 2 episodes in a row. Adobe locked me out of it was like I had an old email. And suddenly it realized like I had to sign back in, which it kicked me out for some reason. I'm the worst. I am like the worst. It's like, oh, please don't make me remember some kind of password. You're supposed to have the thing where it automatically remembers it. It doesn't work for me. Anyway, I was locked out, and I didn't realize that till we were sitting down to record. And it's like, oh no, like on the fly, the pressure's on. It was okay.
You got around it.
We did.
As you always do.
We did. Yeah. Yes. I kind of have this mentality at this point because I can be a perfectionist when it comes to certain things. And it's like, if I wait, like, you know what? Authenticity. I can never pretend to be something I'm not. If people criticize me for being sloppy and messy and it could have done it better, I'm sure I could have done it better. I'm sure someone could do it better, but I did it. Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah. Something's better than nothing. Maybe. Mm-mm. Some things when they suck.
I mean, I've occasionally looked back and gone, just nothing would have been better.
No, the only thing that matters though is sound quality. The video can be crap.
Okay, well,
sound quality has to be good.
And this is why I'm not even going on video yet, because like the sound, I feel like I did my guests initially a disservice. I think it wasn't until maybe episode into the 20s that I really dialed in the sound. I realized the problem was a location. So once we moved downstairs and I got things more soundproofed, it was like, so I genuinely feel bad for my guests because like their stories deserve to be heard. That's really what the podcast. Is this like a problem, by the way?
No, not.
Rubbing on I can hear it loud in my ear.
Oh, really? Do you hear it on the microphone? I don't hear anything. It's probably just on your headphone clinking.
I'm going to take them out just in case. Because wouldn't that stink to have a...
I don't hear anything.
Oh, okay. When I'm on my
phone... They look really cool, though.
Thank you. I really like them.
What is that?
It's like teak wood. It's like a wood... I don't know.
You are a very uniquely fashionable woman.
I like how you put that.
It's because you're from California, huh?
Oh god. I had the backflow tester guy come out for our sprinklers, and he's like, "Oh yeah." I said something about like I had no idea what that was. Backflow testing for your yard.
I'm not sure either. I'm learning. What is this?
Okay, so when springtime comes, if you have a sprinkler system, which I've never had in my life, I have one now. Mm-hmm. The city has to make sure that if you're fertilizing your lawn, they don't want any kind of fertilizer. Something happens like with a power outage, they don't want the water from your system to flow back into the city water with contaminants.
Okay.
I didn't know. And apparently the place that like licenses people, like the contractors or whoever to do these testing is out of Southern California. But I don't know that California does this testing. And if there's testing to be charged for, California should, they're the ones, right? Anyway, I didn't know about that till I moved to Idaho. So the guy's like, oh, where are you from? And I was like, dude, you know where I'm from. Like, and he's like, yeah, me too. I'm like, oh, what part?
Oh, then you bonded.
Yeah. He's like, oh, Southern. I'm like, I'm mid. Like, it was just funny. I don't even tell people anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know where I'm from. And they're like, yeah, California. I'm sorry.
Well, you could have like an Oregon-y vibe because you seem very nature.
Okay.
You seem like a flowy.
I do. I try. I'm like an uptight nature person.
No way. You attribute a lot of growth in your recent adult life to a sport called jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu. It has, I am still enamored and just bedazzled with this weird thing that has changed my life. Like, it really has. And I think it has the main gist of it. I mean, you can fracture into 1,000 different amazing, important parts of it and the ways that it's affected my life and other people's lives. But the crux of it is to go from being so painfully self-conscious, paralyzed self-conscious for a lot of my life to like, I don't care. Like, I'm rolling around in spandex with dudes and chicks and we're choking each other. Like that was such, like, I cannot overstate that growth, that forced growth. So good for me. So
yeah, you didn't do any sports before at all, huh?
No, so I homeschooled growing up and I loved it and I wasn't locked in a closet for my entire childhood like everyone always, oh, did you have a social life? Yes, I did. I have a social life. I still talk to the people that I grew up with on occasion. But we had a very involved homeschool world. So at 9 years old is when I started, became homeschooled and went through high school graduation. And we had a very involved group. So we had a subgroup and then it was like maybe 7 or 8 families. And I was very close with those families and those kids. And then we had a huge group in Fresno, California, maybe 700 families. And so that group would do, like, a parent would pick something to organize. So there was like basketball. There was soccer. There was fine arts festivals and science fairs. And so there's opportunity, but that's not like there's thunder.
Nice. I love it. Ambience.
That's not like oh, I'm on the wrestling team. You know what I mean? It was more like, oh, we have 2 months of soccer.
Yeah.
And it was fun and I would go play that, but I wasn't coordinated. It was just fun to hang out with your friends and run around on the soccer field. So yeah, no sports. No, I wouldn't want to. I was into reading and art and music.
Well, I wrestled and I just feel like there's a uniquely brutal aspect to grappling sports in general. So to even compare, like, oh, even if you did do soccer, right. Even if you did basketball, that's not like doing jiu-jitsu.
There's not a comparison, no. No, there's not. And like honestly, like the audacity, what was I thinking? Like, well, I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
I'm in my 40s. Let's go try this.
And that is what honestly, like, I'm like fairly large guy, with a wrestling background. So for me to go to jiu-jitsu for my first time when I went, it was like almost like exciting. Like, whoa, Mats, we're going to like roll around and do things. I can do a double leg on somebody,
Yeah.
But for you with your background and then also, being a female, being older and then just like, that seems like completely foreign.
The absolute, I can't think of a better word than audacity. The delusion? I don't know. I mean, I'm grateful and I'm glad I did it and it worked out well, but I'm delusional.
You must have had a friend. Who was the one with you, going there with you?
No, my son.
Oh, your son. It was your son.
We moved here. He needed to get involved in something. My sister got my nephew involved and she's like, there's this weird thing. It looks weird. She's like, the positions are odd, but come check it out. Like, they're not giving away participation trophies. These kids are earning it. The coaches expect a lot from them. You're not paying for babysitting. They're learning this cool thing. Come check it out. So I did. And I'm like, yeah, this is weird. This looks weird. Like mountain back takes and side control and you're up in people's face. It's like, okay. But then the more I watched for a couple of times and I asked my son, I'm like, you want to try this? And he's like, yeah, like, why not? And he was a natural. My nephew showed him a few basic drills, basic moves, like on the front lawn at my sister's house. And then
do you remember what that was?
Like what moves?
Yeah.
Like front rolls, back rolls, shrimping.
Okay.
These are not, shrimping is unnatural. But when do you do that? Like you might somersault as a kid, but you're not going to shrimp.
Yeah, it seems pretty uniquely tailored to jiu-jitsu.
I was thinking about that with some new people in class, and it's like explaining, like you're on your back, like put your feet by your butt. Now move, but don't move your feet, just your butt. Like these.
This seems so, to me at this point, I feel like it seems so like fundamental movement because it's like, it's not like a complicated, it's just move your hips away.
Yeah.
Like create some little window of space.
Right.
Push your hips, like get away.
Well, to us now, it is natural. What else are you to do? That's what you do. But like everyone wants to, and myself included, you want to like move everything, to move away, and it's like that's not what you do. You're being held down by someone probably bigger than you, and you have to get into a small space and get away.
I've been looking at jiu-jitsu a lot more lately as like rock climbing, like climbing the body. Like you got like you get your space for your step, and then you make your move and get an anchor.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? You're just like anchoring, climbing, trying to keep tight around somebody, just anchoring around.
I love
grabbing the next hold.
And what do they call? Don't they call it in climbing? Don't they call it a puzzle?
Yeah,
a problem
solving,
solve, right? And I never heard that. The kid's dad did rock climbing for a little bit, just at Gemstone.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh, they call them problems. I think. Am I wrong?
I don't remember. I used to do a lot of rock climbing when I lived in Portland.
Okay.
And then I started like getting hand, because I'm too big for rock climbing, honestly. And I got little baby hands. So I'm like, all this body for these little hands to hold. It was like a bad equation. I would get like strains, like muscle strains in my hand where I'd be like, I couldn't even use my hand for like a week.
Oh, man.
And then I went to my first jiu-jitsu because I've always been, obviously I started off wrestling. So I've always trained martial arts just into adulthood. I went to Marine Corps, trained karate in Japan for a while. And then when I came back and I started using my GI Bill at Portland, rock climbing fell off. And then my girlfriend was like, why don't you go do like a martial arts gym? You love that stuff. And she found 10th Planet Portland for me. I didn't even know anything about it. She was like, there's that Eddie Bravo guy that like, it's like Eddie Bravo guy's gym. You'll like it. And she knew I liked it because I was like, that was like golden era of Joe Rogan when it was like Eddie Bravo, Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Like crazy conspiracy podcasts. It was fun to listen to. Fun. Yeah, so fun. And sometimes I'll be like, I go listen to an old Alex Jones clip and be like,
Interesting.
I feel like some of these things might be like on point.
Yeah. I mean, you can't argue some of that stuff.
Yeah. He seems like he's going crazy from knowing too much.
You know what? Sometimes I think that's a very possible thing, right? There's certain things like see Epstein files. You're talking about that on one of your podcasts. It's like, so, like I know stuff's out there. I don't want to look, not because I don't want to know that that's out there, but I know it's out there. I know that like the depravity, the potential of the depravity of the human soul. And it's like, but once I hear the details, then that's the burden of knowledge. I don't know that
the burden is like, you should like go Splinter Cell, deck up in some guns and black and go overthrow the government.
Like something has to be done.
That's how all my veteran friends are like crazy revolutionary people now, always sending me memes of like,
let's go.
Yeah, violence is okay and stuff. And I'm like,
violence is a virtue, all that.
But the thing is like, there's like a Game of Thrones happening where there's like huge players with billions of dollars. And like, sure, you can get all motivated, but like, you better have a better plan than them, because you're going to get squashed. Exactly. So if you're going to jump into this game and start acting like you're going to move some power and do the right thing, you need to move the pieces more strategically than them. Gosh. And they are very, very, very strategic.
They are. This is their entire world, their entire life. They're used to it. They have the power to do it. And this is why, like, do you ever watch Punisher?
No, my brother tells me to all the time.
It's so good.
I've seen some scenes though.
It's so good. And it's like, this is why I got into a big argument about vigilantism versus like falling in the system. And I'm like, I mean, we could talk a lot about that, but it's like whether I'm not a person that's going to act. I'll talk about it, but I'm not going to act. I have children. I have a life. I've got stuff. I have to pay bills to pay, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like there's that desire. Like someone, it was Daredevil versus Punisher.
Oh yeah.
I watched the whole Daredevil series, and someone was like, "Well, yeah, like because they make Punisher out to be the bad guy. I mean, a good guy, but a bad guy.
Anti-hero?
Yes, the anti-hero. Okay. And so Daredevil's like, no, man, because he's a lawyer. He's like, you got to handle it. Like, let the system handle it. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be siding with Daredevil, but I'm not anymore. Like, Frank Castle, I get it. You see the system fail often enough. And I feel like we're seeing that a lot right now with people that are being let out, that are known violent offenders that are being let out over and over. And they get out and they kill, and they get out and they kill, and they get out and they rape, and they get out and they kill. And it's like, it makes me understand. And then I'm like, is this the point? Are they just like letting the pressure grow in the pot to where things just go crazy? I don't want to live in that world.
Yeah. Have you seen V for Vendetta?
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of vigilante we want to get behind.
Yeah, right.
He's smart. We don't want to just get behind the person breaking windows and spray painting things and being like, let's go kill people that are on the Epstein list. And are they verifiable before we kill them? Who cares? They're on the Epstein list.
Yeah, no, I need to know. I need to know. And that's it. Because honestly, when we can get whipped into a frenzy, it's the same thing at like people that are divided or easily controlled. It just is.
Survivor, right? CBS. Have you seen
Survivor? It's been a long time. Like, aren't they? How many seasons?
It's the newest 50th season right now.
Okay, how many? 50 seasons. It's not a season a year. Obviously, this has not been going on for 50 years.
I think seasons? Like 25, 30 years.
Jeez.
I think is what Jeff Probst has been doing that. But that's exactly the strategy. You know the plot of Survivor? Kind of. Vote someone out.
Oh, yeah.
You guys go to tribal. Your team goes to tribal. Vote one person within your family out. And then everyone has to talk. And the outcast who has no power, the only way they get power is to plant little seeds of doubt and make the two teams that are going to go against him go against each other instead.
See, I think that's why I never got into it. I cannot stomach that. And when I see any taste of that in real life, it makes me just I'm so sad. Like
manipulation?
Yes.
Divisive manipulation.
I'm a little naive. I'm a little, and I've already decided, because I've been, we've all, in life, you're burned enough to where you have to grow up. Like, you can't just have it be whimsy all the time, even though I really want it to be. But it's like, if you can't trust your friends and the people in your core group, like, the world is magical and also going to kill you. It's out to get you in a way. And so for me, the concept that my closest people might be the ones to betray me is like agonizing heartbreak.
Yeah.
And it's unavoidable sometimes, but you don't know till after it's done. And so I keep I'm friends with everybody. I give everyone a chance, but my core group is very small on purpose.
Yeah. I actually had this parenting realization with my son, because me and my wife, we went to Vegas for the weekend, this past weekend. And this was our first time away from him, especially for so long. I went and did some like international gigs just a couple months after he was born, but he's just, that was like almost like a vacation at that time, because he's crying and waking up every like vacation. 2 hours. Yeah.
Oh, honey, I have to go.
I gotta go to Colombia. Sorry.
Right. It's for work.
Yeah. Hang out with a bunch of rich people and record him. But then now he's like, just like you said, the 9-month thing, he's like a person and he forgets. Like, my brother hadn't visited in a while, and he's like a little timid with him when he showed up. And then once he's like kind of shy, he'll warm up once they've been around, and then he wants to have fun with them. And when we showed back up, he was acting a little shy with us.
Like, it's your dad.
I was like, I'm your dad. What are you doing? And once I picked him up and played with him, and he started laughing, and then he instantly felt that like he was comfortable, and he's hugging onto me and being all sweet again. And I realized at that moment, it's because he knows he can trust me. It's like remember, he's like kind of timid because he's unsure, but the more amount of times that me and him, 100% of the time, he realizes I always have his back. 100% of the time, he knows I'm always trying to take care of him. It's going to develop this like pattern that he knows he can count on me to always be the person he can trust. And that's where the bad dads come in, is when eventually they betray that trust by hurting them or doing something against them. And then there's I thought I could trust you. And now we run into this clash of moment in our life where you betrayed me.
Right. And you know what? You make a good point. There's no perfect parent. There's no perfect person, right? So it's like, we were talking about something one time, and it was like, okay, but if you judge someone on their worst moment, is that fair? It's like, it's not fair. Like, I don't want my friends to judge me on worst, but having a bad day is very different than that betrayal moment of like stabbing in the heart.
It's when their intention behind their actions towards you are negative.
Yeah.
You're
as
like,
opposed to them just doing their thing and having to suck you into the vortex a bit of like, oh, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to overflow into you. I'm having a rough day. That is very different than that, like, you just stomped on everything I thought we had. And as a parent to your child, oh my gosh, yeah. Did you, how did fatherhood, like, did you want to be a dad?
I didn't even really like think about it too much.
Okay.
But when it happened, I was like nervous about it.
Sure.
And then I think, so I don't have a good dad upbringing at all, so I'm it's like a foreign concept. Me being with my son is like a whole enriching perspective concept for me, where I'm like, well, this is crazy
from scratch, basically.
And I just feel bad for my own dad, who was like, dude, you missed out on a chance to feel this.
Dude, what an amazing perspective, Jason. What a great, like, that's grace filled right there. Instead of just being like, you missed, it's like, he did miss out on that.
That sucks for him. I feel bad because I'm loving life with that baby. I'm like, oh my God, you could have felt this. That sucks because you only got one life and you don't get many babies.
No, you sure don't.
Unless you're Mormon.
Then bring them on. Oh man. No, there's something really unbelievably profound about parenthood.
But obviously, I've been a person who's lashed out before. I've let anger get the best of me. I've burnt bridges because of my own emotions, letting me drive my actions. And there was a time I just, obviously, like I was putting the foundation. I don't have very good role models for fatherhood growing up. And I was pissed off once when he was fresh, like I was watching him alone for a while, like a couple of days for the first time. And when he was like, I'm going to say like 2 months, 3 months or something. Very little, very spontaneous and constant attention, know, and trying to puzzle solve what is wrong.
Yeah.
It
tell me what you need and you can't.
Exactly. That's what I started running into, where I'm like talking to a baby, like, just tell me what you need. And I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? But there was one point, this is a little bit shameful, but I think some guys could relate, so I'm going to say it. I was so mad. I was like, he was crying. I couldn't figure it out. I was getting so like overwhelmed with like, I'm so bothered. I don't know what to do. I don't know. You're driving me crazy. And I went and put him in his crib and I went over to the bedroom and I smacked the crap out of the bed because I was like, so like driven. Yeah. And I stopped. I hated that feeling. I hated that feeling because it reminded me, it's like, I feel like that is not too far. That emotional outburst is not too far away from smacking the shit out of your kids. You know what I mean?
I do. I get that. And that's, the difference is, and I wish we had more honest conversations about normal parenthood, because I remember my mom telling me that. She's like, look, but when I was pregnant and I'm thinking, I want to be the best mom ever. I want to do such a good mom. I had a great mom. And she told me, she's like, hey, there are going to be days where your babies, she won't stop crying. And when you can't take it and you feel that thing that you were feeling, she's like, put her in her crib, shut the door.
Go to the bedroom.
Go to the bed. She's like, punch the bed if you need to.
No way.
Take a shower if you need to stop this from here. She's like, if you know that she's safe, she's like, this is a normal feeling. And that's the difference. And I remember thinking, that is horrible, Mom. How could you even? And then I had a baby. Yeah. It was like, and I mean, it goes without saying, we love our baby. We love our children. And that's the frustration of like, I want to help you and I can't. And oh my gosh, can you stop crying? And my mom made it, I didn't feel bad. I did it first and then I felt it and I experienced it. And I'm like, I wish I never felt anger and frustration towards my children. I wish I didn't have that, but I'm a human being. It's going to happen, right? So for her to give me this permission, this path of how to handle it wisely, like you handled it wisely. That was the best thing you could have done. You can't just be a robot and not feel frustrated with your kids.
I don't agree with my own actions at this point, though.
I wish I didn't get angry with my child. My baby who just was crying and who I don't know what was going on, but to have a path of action when we feel like that. Yeah. My goal is
if you're overloaded, like if someone who can't control. But the thing for me is I'm a competitive person. You know what I mean?
So you wanted to be the best at the parenting?
No. What it is I like when people annoy me, like on an airplane, for instance, or something, and they're being very annoying, my mind goes to, all right, challenge accepted. I will be the last person to be like annoyed. Oh, you know what I mean? That's how it goes. Like, I want to be the last, but it's like challenge myself towards like positivity, you know? So when I smacked that bed that time, I was thinking, oh my God, I'm letting a baby get me riled up. A baby got me all angry. This baby's beating me. And I'm like, I'm not going to let this baby beat me ever again. I really learned this lesson when I was at Portland State. I got into this fight with this guy. Well, I wanted to fight. He didn't want to fight.
Now I'm in. What
got so mad. I got mad because he called me a bitch and I got pissed off and I was like, what the fuck you say? And I went over to him and I was like trying to get him to get up and I poked him in the forehead like pretty hard. Like, and he went and called the cops of the campus security. Yeah, it's crazy.
Did they come out? Did they
they
slap
came
him
out
in the hand for touching his forehead?
The cops told me that he was all mad. They're like, this is stupid. The cops are on my side. They're like, this is stupid. We're not going to do anything.
Grown ass.
Because I poked a grown man in the forehead. Right. It's because he was scared.
Okay.
He's never trained martial arts.
No, I was gonna say, dude, that could have gone so different for him.
Yeah, but I remember because that got me in trouble, and I was thinking, why did I let him get me so mad? And it got to this. That was like such a big lesson for me because obviously I kind of like had an emotional outburst in front of people, and I was a bit embarrassed about it. But I was thinking, man, I lost. I'm the loser because I had an emotional outburst. I'm the one who like sank into my anger and all that and displayed it for the whole world. The person who stays cool and calm is like the perceived winner, even if you are right. If they're still calm and you're freaking out, screw you. It's like you like look bad.
That's the foundation of stoicism, right? Where it's like just like keeping total control of your emotions. And I love
that's like the mastery of life at that point, though. Yeah, true. Once you can do that.
Is there like a subcategory of stoicism where you can be like elated and thrilled and happy and in love with the magic of life, but also like not letting the bad stuff get to you? That's probably not stoic at all.
I feel like that's gotta be like samurai.
No.
Samurai, because I think of them being influenced by the Taoists, who are very Tao Te Ching, yin and yang, flow with life.
Yeah.
Yet samurais have that mixed with discipline.
Oh.
You know what I mean? With that, so the samurais love art. They do calligraphy because they appreciate the arts.
Okay.
And they're honing their skills through mastery. And understanding the mastery of all things, so you can master your thing better. But it's mixed with discipline.
I have a lot to master.
So it seems like, oh yeah, and what is that? That's the black belt, right?
Yeah. Well, I have a lot of everything to master. There's everything needs to be mastered.
If you could right now just push a button and have full mastery skill set implemented into your brain, matrix style, what would it be?
Oh no. See, my first thought is, I want to be good at jiu-jitsu. I want to be good. But then I'm thinking, okay, there's a path for that. I can chip away at that. I would love to master my mind. I think my mind. Like, I don't know if that's a thing enough to master, but like you mean like a hobby or
I don't know, just anything. What do you mean by your mind? Master your mind.
Every struggle that I face, it comes down to how I think about things. Like I think about how I think a lot. I think about thinking a lot, and which is probably overthinking.
I think about overthinking too much.
Right. You're doing it again, Johnny. But like I think like you only know your own perspective, and then the more you talk to people, you realize sometimes you're like, I'm normal. First of all, does it matter? Like you are who you are, right? But if there's a better way to do things, a better way to think about something, and a better, more productive way to approach life, I want to know. So if I'm normal, that's great and all. Is normal dysfunctional? I don't want to be dysfunctional, and I am. We're all dysfunctional, right? So it's like, okay, how many of my bad days, like I think a lot about reframing. I think a lot about like, okay, this is my struggle for the day, my to-do list, I can look at this as like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm often overwhelmed. I was doing the math and it's like, I'm working like 17, 18-hour days right now. I'm not getting paid money for a lot of the work, but I'm building something. And I like being creative and I like being busy, but I'm also having to let a lot of my passions go because I have to do X, Y, and Z to build what I'm trying to build, right? And then it's that like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm behind on laundry. Oh, I didn't make my kids a meal that I'm happy with serving them. And then it's like, okay, but prioritizing. And I just get into this, like if I can think about the gratitude of the position of life I'm in right now, instead of like, I need a break. It's like, well, I don't know. So I think a lot about that. I have to reframe things at the beginning of the day. How am I going to approach this day? So if I could master my mind, yes, please.
So pretty much what you're saying is you absolutely do not want to be stressed out.
I don't want to be stressed out.
You want to be happy. I want to be happy about the stress.
Exactly. I want to be excited.
Let me look at this one second.
Yeah,
this is something that just sat in the back of my mind. Hopefully you were in focus out. I had it on manual focus.
No one needs to see this. We're good.
Yeah, because I mean, depends what kind of, if you want, it's just every religion, every philosophy always goes to the gratitude thing.
Yeah.
Being grateful.
Yeah, it changes. I was thinking a lot about I don't know how to say this right, but if it's fear and excitement being like one molecule, I don't know, whatever the chemical, like when you feel fear versus feeling excitement, it's like, it's this close to each other. They're related. They're right next to each other. For
me, I have to write things down. That's how I
You know what's funny, stress. Jason? I try to journal. I get stressed about my handwriting.
Oh my
I get stressed about my spelling. I art journal. I draw and and I've given myself permission over the years to just not worry that it doesn't look how I want it to look, because I already realized the words stress me out. And, I didn't word that well, and the grammar wasn't,
who are you showing it to?
Nobody. This is why I'm this is why jiu-jitsu is good for me.
Yeah, seriously.
This is why.
That never-ending rabbit hole of getting better.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Because honestly, if you compared that skill, which one could you download? Mm-hmm. If someone chose to download the skills of boxing over jiu-jitsu, I feel like that would be a bad one, because jiu-jitsu is so much.
It encompasses.
You got I feel like you got the head movement. You could get, obviously everything goes to footwork, but there's limited tools,
right?
With just at least boxing,
yeah.
But with jiu-jitsu, it just starts you could work. You could do wrist things to this thing to this thing. Every single part of the body got to move, and a counter and a move to that counter. And
I was watching a boxing. What was that big boxing match that was maybe a year ago? And I'm embarrassed, I don't remember the guy's name. It was
Mike Tyson, Jake Paul.
Yes.
No way. I got it. Are you serious?
Yes, because that was about a year ago, right? Or
I was just being sarcastic.
Oh yeah, because right? That was a match, right?
That was a match, yeah.
Okay. I was so bored because it was limited motion.
I think it was Canelo's fight that we watched. That was really boring and slow last year.
Okay. There was one where it's because I remember thinking for all my life up until the last 5 years, striking stuff is barbaric, and who would want to see someone beating someone else up, and then I now love UFC, and of course we've talked about on my podcast of people boo when they go to the ground, and us jiu-jitsu people are like, yay, they're gonna do some jiu-jitsu, right? But I'm watching, so I was thinking, I'd like to watch boxing now. Maybe I've changed my mind about all of that, because I like watching UFC now, and I thought that was pretty barbaric, and now I can see what the technicalities more so than before. Nope, I was so bored. I was bored. I'm are they going to kick? Are they going to do a takedown? Are they going to try doing? Oh no, they're just using their fists.
Well, have you done much sparring in boxing?
A teeny bit. Little teeny bit.
Well, maybe this could be the equivalent of someone who's done a teeny bit of grappling, being I don't know, just when they go to the ground, it's not.
Maybe so. Well, maybe so.
Because I will still be when I watch boxing, I like sparring a lot. I don't spar much anymore because one time I got wobbled and I was like, what am I doing with my brain, man? I'm not even trying to be a fighter. I just go put myself in these stupid positions. Because it's just partially because I got that dog. I just want to be competitive side. I'm I'm not scared of anybody. Let's go. I'll try anybody. But then the other part is it's just literally especially striking. It feels like the most ultimate fun game of adult tag. Ooh. That's how it feels to me. It's it's adult tag. I'm going to tag you. Boom. Can you tag me? It's just.
I'm going to watch boxing a little different now. Thank you for that perspective.
But then when I see people do things when they're slipping or when they just watching their feet, where do they put their foot on the outside where they landed that cross? It's just that stuff gets really exciting to me where I'm man, how could I do that?
So in UFC, I have noticed more when they're doing that, only because I have done a teeny little bit of that. And it don't get me wrong, I'm impressed with that. To be able to take a hit to the face and stay on task is crazy. That for me, even a little tap in the face was whoa, so disorienting. So, and then the slips, the footwork, all these things. It's when I say it's boring for me, in no way is that saying I don't think there's any skill involved. There's clearly skill involved, but that for a very brief time, maybe a few months, my friend Philip and I, and then our friend Aries, we were getting together and doing some striking mixed in with jiu-jitsu, and even some like knife.
Yeah, defense. Just straight MMA.
Yeah, with knives.
Nice.
Rubber knives.
That's so cool.
And then fake guns.
Yeah.
And it was
Do they rack?
They didn't. Oh man, that'd have been fun. They were just plastic.
Yeah, that's so cool.
But it was this great opportunity, and it was so what do you do if you're, if some guy how close is too close to draw and fire? In a self-defense situation, this kind of stuff. And then it was okay.
If someone's coming at you with a knife?
Yeah.
Yeah. The distance closing time?
Distance closing.
Yeah.
So, and then we would do stuff we would start in a takedown and then go to grappling, but also striking of protect your face, and to be stuck in mount, protecting your face, trying to get up with someone, and the guys were very. I asked for it, right? Now they were okay, where we're going. They were just tapping at
showing
my,
you
at my face,
the danger.
Oh my gosh, Jason! It was it gave me a new perspective, and it really made me appreciate the people that can handle having, punches thrown at their face.
That's the one critique I have on jiu-jitsu is so many people in jiu-jitsu always call it fighting. When it's not
You're
fighting.
like, it's not fighting.
It's not fighting. If it was fighting, people would be dropping an elbow right on your face right now. That's fighting.
Wade will
or
often
slamming.
say that. He's like, well, in real life, you'd be kneeing that guy in the balls right now. In real life, you'd be going after his eyes.
Oh my gosh.
Fighting.
If only you could practice for that though.
I know, right?
But honestly, I feel like those moments probably just come down to if you got that animal in you.
Right.
You're going to pull that animal out. She coming out. She biting off like chunks of meat.
Right. And you better believe I would. I like to think that.
You would if you're going to die.
Yeah.
For sure. You're going to probably go crazy. But because you're not, the thing is, I think the other option is curl up and hope that someone saves you.
Yeah, no.
But once you're already turned to a jiu-jitsu girl like yourself, I feel like that option goes out the window a lot more, and it's like, I'm saving myself.
Yeah, well, you have to. I was realizing how one correctly well-landed strike on their part to my face, my head, I'm done. I might not survive that. Like once I'm out, I may not stay alive for very much longer. So it's like, all right, you have to. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about that, but I do spend some time.
And that's the whole in jiu-jitsu I think about. Charles Oliveira and Topuria. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Where he got knocked out. Charles Oliveira got knocked out cold. I'm like,
what?
You gotta, and I seen him talk to his gym about it. He's like, I was being stupid. He's a great striker, and I'm standing up with him. I needed to take him to the ground faster. But that's the big thing everyone says. All fights start standing up. And obviously.
Off and on the ground.
But Jocko Willink puts it well where he's like, I can always run away until you grab me. But once you grab me, then it's the jiu-jitsu world.
Yeah.
So
I like
it's great defense.
It is great defense. Wade talks a lot about that in his Saturday mornings are kind of a mix of fundamentals, and sometimes there's some self-defense stuff thrown in there. But I really like that he says, look, this is not to give you a false sense of, all right, I'm a badass now and I can like fight. He's like, no, you got to get away. He's like, even me as a dude that's fought before, he's explaining, he's like, I would not stand much of a chance against someone like Rusty, like a big dude. He's like, if you can get away, you get away. This isn't a chance to prove your toughness. If you can cross the street instead of walking by something that you think might be, just cross the street. Go get away. All of this is to get away.
Yeah.
And if you can't get away, then here are some tools. It's like, thank you for not giving us that false sense of, like, I can take on anybody now. I don't want to have to take on anybody.
But it's like, if you end up there, at least you're comfortable because you've been there before.
Absolutely.
It's not completely foreign. Like grappling with someone who's never even touched a mat.
Yeah.
And you're like, where are you going?
Right.
What are you doing? Why are you just giving me your back? What are you doing?
Right. Rolling away. That was such a barrier to break through. Was like, it's like trying to get something, you've got your top side control, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna. And it's like, no, get pressure. And it's like, you got to just get up in their biz. And that's something that when you train, you don't waste time if you're ever in a bad situation going, oh, this is uncomfortable. It's like, no, it's very comfortable.
I've been forcing myself. I read Hicks and Gracie's book, Breathe, A Way of Life. It was such a good book. Have you ever heard of that?
I have absolutely heard of it. I've not read it, though.
You should read it. It's so good.
Yeah,
I really love that book. I gave it 5 stars.
Nice.
I don't give many books 5 stars. The books I give 5 stars on my Goodreads app are only if I'm going to probably like reread them again. Okay, like that was so enjoyable.
When you're done making your point, I'd like to know 3 books in your top 5.
Oh, okay. But there was this point he was talking about where he was like very uncomfortable getting strangled and you tap all the time. And he felt that he needed to get comfortable being in really tight spaces. So he would have his brothers roll him in a carpet.
Whoa.
And say, don't let me out no matter how much I beg, which sounds very dangerous.
It does. But wow.
Yeah. And he got comfortable being like without air. He said he would like be so tight, he couldn't even breathe. And he was like thinking he needed out. But then because his brothers wouldn't let him out, it forced him to figure out, how can I find a way to breathe here?
Whoa.
And he would like trying to like just make a tiny inch or tiny space and like.
Yes, get that breath. You know, sometimes that's all you need is that little.
Whoa. Yeah, exactly. I always do that. Literally, Rusty had me in a guillotine last week, and I was like, he squeezed it, and I was like, I was trying to get an escape. We're doing some drills, and Rusty puts me in this guillotine. When I flip up, I'm about to escape, but then that guillotine locks me, and he got it so tight that I went. Right when he pulled it, my throat gurgled. I was like, but then I was like, I think of Gracie every time when I get in those crazy situations. I'm like, I'm not out yet. Let me try to find a space to breathe in. And I just like
I love
and I find a space to breathe, and it's really bad for your neck soreness for the rest of the week, but it's great training on being tight. Yeah, I popped out. I popped it out. It was pretty awesome.
That's amazing.
It's a big win for me.
Yeah, dude, those are the wins in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You're a white belt, blue belt, purple belt, going up against these brown and black belts. Those are the wins. Like, aha. I breathed for 3
even just holding, just surviving. Yeah, surviving is something like this guy could do. He knows a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I love going with those bigger belts, because I'm like, I'll get them in like a good solid wrestling hold that I know like I've done this so much I can hold this one, but then I can feel them messing around with things, touching my feet with their foot. I'm like, what are you doing? Putting their hands and grabbing my finger. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yes,
I know you're up to something. Yes. What is it?
That whole like suspicion. I'll feel Justin like. I'll feel like okay, first of all, I never feel like I've got something good on Justin, right? But I'll be in a position where I'm like, I'm safe even in a defense. I'm just going to hunker down. And then I feel him messing with my gi top and pulling out a lapel. And I'm like, no. Like, there's
let go of that.
Death is on its way.
Yeah. You got to start thinking about that's such a fun aspect about jiu-jitsu. And that's why downloading all the info of jiu-jitsu would be sick, because if someone messes with something, you can just go through your catalog of moves.
Yes.
There's this you might be doing.
I love that you said that. I remember thinking like the jiu-jitsu moves were Rolodex, and upper belts like instantaneously. They have like their three options for this particular position. And I'm like 3 moves back going, do I have a Rolodex somewhere? Like,
yeah. What was that?
I think there's a move for this.
Yeah. It's like, I just think of it like a language. It's literally a language is how I would think of it. Like you're just fluent. Black belts are the fluent ones who are like speaking in perfect language.
Yep.
They don't need to think too much. Like us speaking English right now, we're just speaking. Versus someone learning the language, like I had a flashcard of that the other day. What was it?
That's perfectly put. Someone was saying like white belts are learning the alphabet, and then blue belts are learning words. Purple belts are like, I'm putting words together in sentences, but I'm still having to put them together in sentences. And then by the time black, you're just talking. You're just writing. You're just communicating.
Everything's flow.
It's just easy. Oh, I can't wait.
And then what the heck's a coral belt? What are they doing? They're like they're psychic at that point,
right? They're just like
they might have. Yeah, I already tapped you 3 times before we even slapped hands.
It's like a Minority Report thing. Trust me, you lose. Let's move on. I love it. All right, 3 books on your.
3 books. Okay. So many great books. I think I really was impacted by A Demon Haunted World by Carl Sagan. I remember that one moved me a lot in terms of developing skepticism and my viewpoint on life, on how I digest evidence and information.
Okay.
A Demon Haunted World.
Demon Haunted World?
Yeah. Demon Haunted World. Okay. Carl Sagan.
That sounds super perky and upbeat.
Yeah. Well, so obviously it's kind of like talking about the world that is haunted by demons, but he's a scientist. So he he goes through it in a very fun, objective, and you know Carl Sagan, huh?
Yeah.
He's such a entertaining speaker and does information of very advanced topics in a very friendly way.
Okay.
To understand. Third or second, I guess let's count the first one as the Gracie book.
What did you say it was called? Breath?
It's Breathe.
Okay.
Way of Life or Flow of Life, something like that. Hicks and Gracie, such a good book. It's like a autobiography kind of, but mixed with like life values. It's so fun. It's so fun. It makes you feel so warrior. I'm listening to that and I'm just like getting pumped up.
I have 5 Audible tokens.
Oh,
like right
go get that one.
I'm super excited. So.
And then another, I do like the Tao Te Ching. I don't ever consider myself a Taoist, but I do really like the flow of Tao Te Ching, and especially even that Tao Te Ching I got right there. It's they always reference the god as a she, and I always like that. That's pretty fun. Yeah. So different.
It is different. I always felt with my spiritual beliefs, for me, and this is sacrilege to some, and I hope I don't offend anybody. It's just the way it is in my mind. The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. I believe in the Trinity, but to me, it makes sense that the Holy Spirit is feminine because it's a comforter. It's you have and I in biblical terms, everything points back to God and to the relationship that He wants with us. So He created the family. He created this beautiful parent and child thing. And so we have the Father, we have the Son. Like, why would Mama be left out? Like, and I just feel like in the sense of like the great comforter, they always reference the Holy Spirit as being the comforter, the one that translates our inner groanings, and we have no words to express our pain to the Father. the Holy Spirit understands our inner groanings and will tell the Father. And I thought, well, that's not mama. I don't know what is, if that's not feminine.
The feminine quality is what you would hope God would be. Nurturing, loving, patient, kind. I'm labeling off the best versions of moms.
Yeah, right.
I guess that could be a dad
ideally,
like that.
Yeah, and of course, right. And I mean, we obviously all can be these things, but we're built differently.
There's there's a contrast. This is like, it just feels like there's a night, there's a day. This is a push and pull universe, literally an oscillation universe, where the reason everything works is because there's vibration, things going up and down, oscillating. Yes. There's a poles and everything to the fabric of the atoms.
That to me I never had a struggle with the idea of equality between men and women. Like it never occurred to me that, like, for me in Christianity, it's like Adam needed help and God created a helper. That in my world and my worldview was never a lesser than. It was like, if you need help, that means you are not all. You're not complete. If you can't do it all yourself and you need help. So that to me, it wasn't like breaking men down, but it was like the woman's role is clearly, from a biblical perspective, very important and not lesser than. I've never once felt that it was now there's humans that have done shitty things.
Do you think there were female animals in the Garden of Eden before Eve was there?
I do. I think that's why Adam was like, "Hey, God, what's up? Where's my partner?" Because he saw all of these creatures with like counterparts. They clearly need You can need a counterpart.
I forgot. I think it's Ari Shaffir has this bit where he's like talking to God comes to check on Adam. And he's like, "Wait, you're fucking what?"
Right?
It's like, no, we gotta make you something.
Wait for you to ask me, and I didn't expect you to take this into your own hands.
leave the goats alone.
They didn't ask for this.
But I do you know? Have you ever looked into the Gnostic Gospels?
Yeah.
Those ones
I don't know a lot about it, but I know of them. And
those ones are so fun. Recently I've been having so much fun learning about the different sects of Christianity and of the early 1st and 2nd century. Okay. Those are so fun. The different perspectives of it.
I have a lot to still dig into, for sure. I know I'm really interested in like the Ethiopian, like that. Like there's
Ezekiel,
there are all kinds of
Enoch, the Book of Enoch in that one. That one's cool. It's very alien-y. Yeah. Feels like there's some connection to our modern UFO thing or something.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. The Nephilim and the...
I tie so much of the Nag Hammadi scriptures, which is a lot like the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Nag Hammadi was found in Nag Hammadi, Egypt, and they're like, just like the Dead Sea Scrolls discovery, found just like that in the mid-20th century. And they date back to being kept, like a good record keeping. They date back to being like in royal houses in the what do they call it? The medieval periods.
Oh, cool.
And people date the Nag Hammadi thinking it goes back to 2nd century, carbon dated. So it's pretty old.
Yeah.
But the chain of command is a little loose. Still, it's so fun. The Nag Hammadi is where most of the ideas of the Gnostic gospel perspective comes from.
What is the foundational belief system of Gnostics?
It's that Jesus, the main difference there is they have all these quotes of Jesus. They have the Apostle Paul's testimony, Judas' testimony, Mary Magdalene's testimony that were never put into Orthodox teachings. Okay. And there was many separate sects of Christianity that had different views about what happened with Jesus. Then they came together and they had the apostles had appointed bishops, and then those bishops were like the new leaders of the churches before they were churches, and then they came together and made archbishops, like the over bishop that knows everything.
Overarching arches.
And they're like, let's all get on the same page. And they created Orthodox, which was proto-Orthodox first, and then it turned into a battle between the Orthodox main churches, West and East, the Eastern Orthodox, and then just like Roman Catholics.
Right.
But before all that, there was the Nag Hammadi, which was the Gnostics, who were a sect of Christians who believed that Jesus wasn't like the Son of God, that was like the Savior, but more like I guess more like a prophet, like almost like how Muslims think, but a super neo character that's teaching people how to reach his level.
A good dude with lots to teach, but not the Son of God.
Yeah, it's
in their belief.
This is what it is. They don't believe in worship being Jesus, they believe in finding the keys to heaven to be like Jesus within yourself.
Okay.
So
which is not uncommon. There's a lot of other groups that have that as their foundation.
Yeah, and I always feel inclined to ideas like that because I always like the ideas of you taking the world into your own hands. You know, you have like the power. It's like the Matrix. Like you worship Neo, or you can learn to become like Neo and break yourself free of this material world that you think is this illusion world.
Right.
You know,
yeah, I can see that.
Which I really like because it forces you to rise within yourself more than think you're rising based off of devotion of worship. Which worship is always an interesting thing to me because I think gratitude isn't quite worship. I wake up every morning. Every morning I wake up and I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, like,
right?
Thank you, God. I'll be out there just staring at a tree like, I'm so grateful for life. I look at my baby. I'm so grateful. Thank you, God. Thank you for whatever created us. Thank you.
Yeah.
But gratitude isn't worship.
True.
I think worship has this underlying devotion, loyalty, like unwavering loyalty.
That's a good point. I've read a few books over the years that talks about how there are things that are acts of worship that we don't think of as worship, and some of those things that it's been suggested. It's like, well, I like the idea because like, well, yeah, I do want to worship my Creator, like I adore Him, and what does that look like? Us sitting there just constant, like I remember asking my mom, I'm like, you can't just pray all the time. You have to live your life. She's like, yeah, there's a balance. There's a balance to be had. But I don't know. I wish I could remember what book that was, but it talked about how like doing our daily tasks with a happy heart to bless others is an act of worship. And so I don't know. I kind of like that idea of like,
why would they connect that to worship?
I don't remember. And I need to dig back into that, but that always stuck with me, which is, honestly, I don't remember, but I like the idea because it just makes it easier. My mom really had a huge impact on my life. And she talked about, she was a very cool person because she had a very devout and authentic relationship with Christ. And she was not afraid to look at things that maybe other Christians would say, oh, no, that's too new agey, or that's like, you're getting into some gray area. She's like, no, like, and she always explained, she was very firm in her beliefs. And she's like, why on earth would you throw the baby out with the bathwater? Why does this group that has twisted some things in a very destructive way, they don't get to keep that? They twisted that. I'm taking that back. And I really loved that about her. But she talked about, don't prepare food for your family when you're pissed. She's like, food won't be as good for them. It's like if the goal is to like nurture and feed your family and help your family grow, if you're just pissed and muttering and just have anger and bitterness in your heart, she's like, you're going to get the calories in, but she's like, that's not good food for them. And I didn't understand until I got older about like energetic stuff and like, I don't know, that stuff is so interesting to me.
That reminds me of kind of like you're towing the line of, there's this Japanese book, this Japanese guy who wrote like experiments on ice where he talked to the ice crystals, really sweet. And then talked to the water, froze it, and then talked nasty and froze it. Yeah. And that's pretty fun. That's a fun concept.
So I read something recently that's like, oh, that was all debunked. I don't know, or like the plants, like screaming and yelling and cussing at plants versus talking nice to plants. And someone said that was debunked. I need to see that for myself because I don't, that logically makes sense to me.
Yeah, well, I tried doing the study myself. It didn't work.
You screamed at your plant or
no, at the ice and froze it. I'm like, what the hell?
What were you
it's
expecting?
All just regular.
A little like, little finger up.
This one I said, fuck you too. But there's a whole book. I read it, and a lot of people, they read that book too and get pretty excited about it. Like, oh, this is true. And I went pretty hard trying to figure out, because I go hard into everything. Obviously, I'm a pretty skeptical person. So an extraordinary claim, I'm like, where's the extraordinary evidence? And when I find that sometimes if the evidence is just ordinary, connected to an extraordinary claim, I don't like to completely connect those two because there's a lot of options that it could still potentially be, but I'll hold space for it like it could be. But when you give me some extraordinary evidence, we'll lock that baby in. But you know,
I love to find the evidence, but there's certain things where it's like, I don't even know if I need evidence. It makes sense. I'm going with it because it's not hurting anybody to go with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it makes sense to me that if I'm going to be mad and doing something, I just feel like crap when I'm doing that thing, that task where it's like, I could be folding laundry pissed, or I could be folding laundry just so grateful that I've got, like, look at those blessings. I'm taking care of my family. And that puts me in a certain state of mind. I mean, really, it kind of comes down to selfishness. It's like, I want to be comfortable and happy doing these monotonous, drudgerous chores. I'd prefer to be happy.
Yeah, me too. I like to think a lot of people do as well. Yeah. They're lying to themselves when they're like, I like being a grump.
Yeah, no, you don't.
I'm just a bitch.
Right. I'm just salty all the time.
Have fun. Goodbye.
Do you enjoy living in your own headspace right now? You cannot be enjoying that life.
Yeah, well, really, and it's like interacting with each other is like the most rewarding thing too, because it's just like, I feel like the funnest things in life, the most fun things in life is interacting with life. And some Buddhist monks probably look at the walls like a matrix, like Neo in the Matrix, like everything is life. I love it all.
Right.
But like, even if you don't have another human to interact with, you could have that little spider, you know, and you'd be like having a moment and there's an interaction. But with another human, it's so complex. And it's more enriching because of the complexity, you know, behind the individual. Yeah. And if you want to interact with more humans, you might want to like be a happy person because no one wants to be around you when you're a crab. No. And you're missing out on more exciting connections you could have had if you were a little relaxed instead of burning bridges. Like I used to be burning bridges when I would get all angry. Okay.
What was your big change for you? Like
just fucking up enough things that I'm like, I don't want to live this fucked up way anymore.
So you took personal responsibility. Were you aware that, like, what was your main problem? Were you thinking the problem was everybody else and you were a victim in it, or you just were mad at everybody? Like, what was your perspective at that time?
No, I think I know later on that I'm wrong. But in all my problems, throughout my 20s, probably younger, I was just overcome with my emotion rather than my consciousness, like being aware.
So just feeling the feels big.
Yeah, just letting the feelings take over versus letting, what I want. This is actually what I think consciousness, if you think about it, the way they set it up in tech and Avatar, like the Avatar is aware. Once it's aware of its spatial surroundings, it's considered conscious, like a plant. The plants, they have a map of around them. They go towards the light. So we call them conscious. They have a spatial awareness.
Right.
And the thing that makes us more conscious, like seeing my baby, first off, starts to become more and more conscious, the more aware he is of his surroundings. Then eventually he's going to be aware of himself too, in his own person within the surroundings, next level of consciousness. And then he's going to be aware of grander spaces. Yeah. Oh, I know he's in that room over there. And then he's going to be aware of his position and other people's position in the spaces. Oh, man. But then I think eventually it gets to this point as you get older and older, the more consciousness development comes from your awareness of your position in space and in time. Knowing where you are in space, I know this huge universe exists and I'm a little person right here. And your position in time, I'm just one drop in this giant ocean of time from the beginning. And the more you get that, finally you get this like max level consciousness in this universe. And if consciousness is based off of your awareness of your position in space and in time, then I think the enlightenment level of consciousness is when you are aware of your position in interdimensional space. Oh man. And the maybe beyond time, beyond space and time. Right. That's like a Jesus figure who's like, guys, I know there's more than this. There's more space than this space and more time than this. And the thing is that where you can actually, why that matters is when you're able to take action on that awareness. So like, for instance, I'm going to eat Twinkie right now. I really want Twinkie, but I want to lose weight. If I'm conscious enough to know later in time, I eat this, I get fat, I can make a conscious choice because I'm aware, that in time, it'll make me fat later.
I always speak in terms of like zooming out. That always comes to my head. Like we gotta zoom out, like see more in the picture than this right now.
Yes, exactly.
Zoom it out and go, let me take stock of the situation. What's really more important? That feeling, I have to have that Reese's fast break. I gotta have it.
Yes. And consciousness, making conscious decisions sounds so like, that's what I gotta do, just be conscious. But I think it summarizes that where you space out, have an awareness of your position and what your actions are gonna do, where you're gonna end up in space and time as it goes on, with this awareness of how these actions go and going, I don't want that.
Right.
I prefer if I do an action that's going to lead me to here in the future, rather than doing an action that's going to lead me to here.
Right.
And that's when you make conscious decisions versus living in the present emotional rage.
Feeling and the feel, being governed by your impulses, really. Like that self-control thing. That I've been thinking a lot about the balance of, as someone that had a hard time for a lot of years saying what I should say. I didn't want to make anyone uncomfortable, right? Then the other end of that is like, I'm just going to say it. They need to know. And kind of somewhere in the middle, thinking about people that it's like, do I need to tell them the truth, quote unquote, because they need to hear the truth? But why? Sometimes, yes. Like sometimes that, like we are holding back for fear of like offending or of making someone angry. And it's like someone has to speak truth to them. I find that so often people hide behind that. Like it's a righteous thing. Like I need to say this. It's like you're giving into your impulses because you want to hurt them. And you can call it righteousness and say it's truth. But in reality, are you helping them? Are you scratching your own itch of like, I want to say this. I want to say, they need to know. A rock. Yeah. And it's like, okay, if something positive can come from this, then by all means. But like, if the positive things, you got that icky feeling off your chest and flung it at them, and now they know how I feel. F you. Like, I don't know. Like, that's another way of like death to self, like dying to self. I don't need to to act on that impulse. Maybe I just need to just let them learn on their own. But also there's a time to speak up sometimes. I don't know. That I think a lot about that with like impulses. People talk often about like stop and think before you act, think before you speak. You know, the Bible talks about being slow, quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to act. Like think about your actions. And it's like, what do you do if you're the opposite? What do you do if you're like a day later going, I now know what I should have said and what I should do. Now the moment's passed. So it's like finding that balance. I don't know. I think a lot about impulses because that's what we teach our kids. The trouble we get into is because we do not have impulse control.
Have you seem like someone who might have done some psychedelics.
No, I never.
Never?
I'm scared.
Okay, well, that's the thing. If you do crazy psychedelics like DMT scared, it seems like it becomes like kind of like scary until you break through anyways. I've done, obviously, with this type of wordage, I've done a lot of psychedelics.
Okay.
And I feel like your mindset going in, it's kind of molded my viewpoint of like what heaven is or hell is when we die is because I'm like, if you're at a low vibration going in where you have bad vibes, you're like anxiety, bad scare, and then you take like a bunch of mushrooms, then it's like you get even more, like you live in,
amplifies that.
It's like a black hole in your chest and you're going inside and hopefully you create a good world in there. Like you're about to live inside yourself for a second. But if you're just like really good vibes and I would go into like some deep psychedelic with the idea of like, I want to like grow spiritually, I'd like turn on some spiritual music and I have to set my intentions, like let me like try to find some flow and try to just like be aware of what's happening. And those would be like really awesome trips where I'm like, whoa, I feel like I've created my own wavelength that I'm riding on now because I am the good wave.
Your mind is so powerful. Like it's so powerful. So in California, I smoked weed. I had my green card. I was like, I did it all legally. In fact, the doctor that I got my green card from laughed at me. He's like, okay, so have you found that weed has helped with your back pain in the past? I'm like, I don't know. I've never tried it. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, well, it's not legal. I can't get, aren't I supposed to get my card before? And he just started laughing at me. He's like, well, nobody does it in that order, but yeah, here's your card. Best of luck to you, right? Like when I was such a rule follower, I freaked out. I got so anxious. And then I was on the journey of finding the right strain, and I was like deep in the research. I'm like, okay, the indica and the sativa and the hybrids and the
CBD.
And I'll just get like a heavy CBD and like a 1% THC. I ended up having like, I wish that I had a positive experience because I have a lot of friends that have healed a lot of things through cannabis.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I had I won't name names, but I had someone in my life that she had herniated a disc in her, the MRI looked like her vertebrae in her neck was blowing a bubble gum. Boop. Like it was bulged, her disc was bulged out so bad in her neck and it was agonizing. And she wasn't a big go to the doctor, go to the hospital person. And after so many days of like agony, she's like, take me in, let them give me the toughest drugs they have. And they shot her full of stuff and they gave her all the stuff and it didn't do a single thing. No, not a stitch of pain relief. I had a friend that had pot cookies and I brought her half a cookie and I was too scared to try it, but I had it. So I'm like, well, you want to try this? And she's like, yeah, I'll do anything. Like, I can't keep hurting like this. She's like, she went out and got her green card the next day.
Oh my gosh.
It helped. It like turned her pain off. It let some of the inflammation go down. And anyway, And probably just her own like tensing up was making things worse, right?
Very opposite of your experience.
Very opposite. I was so jealous. Like I was jealous. But the more that I experimented with that, the more I realized it was because of me. It wasn't the weed. It was me. Because I went in going, oh, I'm feeling something different.
Yeah.
Oh, this is scary.
It's fighting the loss of control.
Yeah. Which is like, okay, clearly I have an issue with control.
Yeah.
Because and so I work on that without weed here in Idaho. And it's like, all right, let go of that control. Like you can't control everything.
Well, that ultimate test, I think, comes in psychedelics.
Yeah.
Because your consciousness goes somewhere else. It's like a shifting of the wall.
So you have to think it's fun and enjoy it, right?
No, I think what I think is I have to get myself to hit this mindset that I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to come back in 5 minutes for DMT especially. I'm like 5 minutes. I'm back.
Is it
going to be okay?
Acting DMT?
Yeah, 5 minutes, but you're gone for an eternity.
Oh,
or an eternity. I always think about it like this because people ask me like, "Oh, it was a long time." I'm like, it feels like infinity, but both infinities, like 0.0000000000001. You know, like the tiniest infinity, and the whole number infinity, the biggest infinities. Because it feels like it's over. Like it's like being choked out. Have you been choked unconscious?
Yeah.
Where you like wake up, what?
Yeah.
Was I just choked out?
And it was a second.
What happened, guys? Yeah, it was like, dude, you literally closed your eyes, woke back up. You were gone for like a half a second. Right. We let go. Yeah, but it's like you wonder that loss of consciousness. You're not even sure how much time passed.
Interesting.
And that's what it feels like in DMT. But physically, you look at the watch, it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe.
Kidding.
Yeah,
that sounds really intriguing.
Yeah, and oh my god, the first time that I had a crazy breakthrough, I was living in my van in Portland, and then
down by the river.
I was in the student parking garage actually.
Okay.
But when I did that DMT, I went over. I don't think this is a good spot to park by the river. Over in Portland.
I'm channeling my inner Chris Farley on that one.
Van down by the river, yeah.
And why I can't separate those two things.
But I went to a laundromat and I was like, I put some like ayahuasca jungle music on, and I'm like, I got this DMT pen from like this crazy like barn psychedelic invite only event I got invited to. It was really cool.
DMT pen.
Yeah, it was like a pen. Gosh. Like it was like a gel version where you just hold the pen down and breathe it in. I was like, what? Yeah, and so I hid it in the back of my van before I go do my laundry. And I'm like, I just took the biggest rip I possibly could, just as maximum until my lungs were fully maxed. And then I just held it as long as I could. And I was like starting to go like lightheaded from like just holding your breath, you know? And as I leaned back, I had the sound of the music just like, and I felt like all of a sudden as soon as I hit back, I felt like I was like leaving, but not physically. Yeah. And I felt like my awareness, my consciousness just would start flying down this infinity tunnel of like Aztec octagonal shapes like, from all angles, like flying somewhere. And then I just like went to like this energy realm.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy.
Do you feel like that's what you're actually experiencing, or is that because you've seen like cool effects in movies and that's what you see? That
I was thinking about that. A lot of people see, because I was like, why did I describe the shapes, that tunnel shape that I went through as Aztec shapey?
Yeah.
And I think it reminds me of like octagonal-ish, like heart shape.
Like a bee hive or
something honeycomb. Like that. It reminds me of like, I think of like a weird like octagon shape. I don't know, but I remember when it was over, I was like very Aztec-y vibe. Obviously, I could be influenced by just the surrounding, but I was thinking maybe the Aztec shapes are just what they saw when they were doing ayahuasca. You know, they were doing DMT themselves, and they're like, let's make art, and they were drawing that thing.
What came first?
So yeah, chicken or the egg. But I'm guessing it's a very common thing that people see that type of shape in that tunnel of infinity. I did a lot of research, yeah. So it was pretty awesome. But I was thinking about the Bhagavad Gita and that vibration talk about if you have good vibes going in. With DMT, whether you have good vibes or bad vibes, you're going. You're gonna go. And but once you're like there, for me, I was very calm. I'm like, whatever, it's over.
So you have a great perspective. You're like, I'm along for the ride.
Yeah.
And I'd be afraid. So first of all, I don't ever need to try it because you just took me on a journey. Thank you for that description. I like that. but I am curious, and I've heard that there's a lot of healing that can happen and I'm wondering if maybe the healing, I'm sure, is doing something chemically and neurologically perhaps, but maybe it's just that letting go in the first place and being open to this experience, letting go of control. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I felt on that specific trip that there was this energy being that was like my tour guide. And we were flying through the cosmos, like of all space. Wow. And it was like space was moving hyper fast, like back into its original source. And I was like flying through like nebulas and stuff, like looking at all of things coming back together. And I can't even remember the full trip anymore. But I felt like I got like a ghost put back in my body when I was coming back. And I was like thinking, oh, I'm playing my avatar again. Like, it's time to be Jason again.
In my meat suit.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I felt, back in my meat suit. And once I was like conscious in my meat suit, I was like, I just started crying. I was crying because I was filled with love. I was filled with like happiness and love.
So you weren't like, I'm back in my meat suit.
No, I was so grateful.
I'm home.
And I called my little brother and sister right away. And I was like, it's all about love. It's all about love. We're all connected. Yes. We're all connected and it's all about love. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You just smoke.
Quit doing drugs, Jason. Get a freaking apartment. Get a normal job.
I'm doing drugs in my van and it's amazing.
Listen to me. I'm enlightened now. I'm better than all of you.
It's about love, motherfucker.
Don't make me freaking hate you for not believing me. It's about love.
That's so amazing.
But I stepped out of the van. I start going into the laundromat with my little laundry bag, Yeah. And there was this homeless guy sitting out there, just really, pretty ugly dude. Like really run down looking dude. And I just was like looking at him like,
look, brother.
I felt like almost like how I look at my son now. I was looking at him like with emotion, like, oh my God, dude. Like, we're like one and the same.
Yeah.
Like, I feel for you. Like you could be me, like we are like each other. And I was just like, super hippie. I was super hippie after that trip.
It explains why hippies are the way they are though. Like,
yeah.
And here's the thing. I think we are all connected. I think there's a lot of truth to that, but to get to feel it. Do you know who Joe Dispenza is? He does a lot of like manifestation stuff, but he's a doctor. And I've been digging into the idea of manifestation, and I rejected the idea for a very long time because that was too similar to like health and wealth, like prosperity gospel stuff in Christian circles, where it's like name it and claim it. You don't ever have to be sick, and if you're sick, your faith isn't strong enough. And I reject that. Like, God uses suffering to teach, and I don't think he's not. I don't believe he causes it. I believe that we are in this world to experience all of the spectrum, right? So I don't blame God for negatives. Just like, I don't know. That's my perspective.
Yeah,
so
we're playing in a sandbox.
Yeah, playing in the sandbox. Stuff's gonna happen. Like, I'm not sure where you're coming from with it.
Kids spray some sand in your ear and you're like, who built this sandbox?
Right. I'm blaming you for that. No, I'm in the sandbox playing with other kids. Yeah. Stuff happens, right? So where was I going with that? Oh, so the idea of manifestation, I'm like, that sounds all lovely, but like I feel like I'm a liar going like, I am loved, I am wealthy, I am successful. It's like, well, like I am delusional. Like it's like, but what does it actually look like? So I like this guy's, I don't agree with him on everything, but I like his, he breaks it down to, it's not even, and there's nothing wrong with vision boards, but I tried that and I tried the journaling and then all that stuff, but I always felt very inauthentic. It's like, I'm lying to myself. I know where I'm at. I know what my hopes and dreams are. But he breaks it down and talks about how it's about the feeling. And if you can create a memory that maybe you haven't experienced, your brain doesn't know the difference between you imagining something and a memory of something that's actually happened. It does not know the difference. That's why they've done studies where people will imagine and like think about playing the piano, playing a certain piece. Like, and there's specific ways that they go about this, but they found that people that never touched the piano could actually play the song, given enough time. And I'd like to know the actual like parameters of this experiment. I'll look it up and find it. It was.
Have you played the piano before?
I have. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Think of a song you never played. I got a piano right here.
I played.
How much time do you have to think about it though?
I think a long time.
Like many years.
I think it's like, well, I don't know.
It's
that's
like Buddhist
really
on a mountaintop. You got to think about for at least for like 7 years, and then you can touch it.
That's all I'm gonna do now is think about the song in the piano.
Can we take a little break? I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, for sure. Sweet. Jason, I found it. I found the steady. I found the steady with the piano.
No way. Okay.
So if it's okay, I'm gonna read it if that's okay.
Tell me yes, please.
So interesting.
How long do I have to think about the piano before I can play it?
All right. A landmark Harvard study by Dr. Alvaro Pascual Leon demonstrated that people who mentally imagined practicing a piano exercise for 2 hours a day for 5 days experienced nearly identical brain structure changes in the motor cortex as those who practice physically. The research proved that mental imagery can drive neuroplasticity. So participants were split into 2 groups. One practiced on a keyboard. The other only imagined playing while sitting at the piano. Both groups showed significant expansion in the cortical motor map controlling their fingers, regardless of whether they physically touched the keys or just mentally simulated the action. So the conclusion was that the brain does not distinguish between vividly imagined events and a real one, suggesting that mental rehearsal is a powerful tool for skill acquisition and brain rewiring. They're finding that, of course, it's got profound implications for stroke rehabilitation, sports training. Mental practice can create similar functional and structural brain changes to actual practice. So that, to me, when Joe Dispenza talks about imagine that this has already happened, not you're hoping, because hoping for something implies you don't have it.
But the difference in there, though, is the people imagine doing a technique they already knew, something they've already done, redoing it like a jiu-jitsu move.
I guess they didn't clarify that they had or had not yet played the piano.
Yeah, because we originally were thinking people who haven't played the piano.
See, now I thought my memory said they had never touched the piano,
Yeah.
but I see what you're saying.
So it's like if you think about jiu-jitsu, but you don't even know jiu-jitsu long enough, you become a black belt. It's like,
No, that makes sense. You're right.
But if you're a black belt and you need to get sharper at or doing a single leg,
Right.
and you reimagine, stepping
hours a
in,
day.
dropping, doing your thing, and you just think about it over and over properly, then that makes sense.
That does
I
make
could totally see that.
Okay, I guess that maybe like the moms in kids class who watched their kids train for 3 years and then got on the mats. I'm not a scientist. I don't have any way to measure this, but I know that they came in with an advantage. They did.
An advantage, but I still think they would do it wrong.
Yeah,
I think you have to get those first principle, actual move your body with it first.
absolutely, because there's we've all talked about it as ladies in women's class. It's like my brain. Actually, no, we've all talked about it in regular class too. The co-ed class, your brain knows what it should be doing because you've heard it and you've watched the coach demonstrate it, and then you go to do it and your body does a different motion, right? So, yeah, I don't know.
Because the neuroplasticity aspect, which was really cool, because it is if you, like for instance, I play For Elise on the piano. You know For Elise on the piano?
I actually I know the song. I don't play it. I play by ear. I've never was good at sight reading.
Yeah, I play by synth on YouTube.
Yeah,
I just watch it and try to memorize.
Nice.
But yeah, For Elise is such a common one. What's the song you know? What's your top songs that you just can jam out?
Oh gosh, honestly, they're all hymns.
No way.
I used to play in church all the time.
Which one's your favorite?
Oh gosh, I mean, Amazing Grace is a classic,
Okay.
but like
Amazing Grace. Imagine now playing that. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like you can, since you already got those motor structures in, practicing that in your head, you can imagine. It's like burning it in that pattern. It's pattern recognition. It's like saying your phone number over and over and over again into your head.
True.
It's like, so when you're there with your phone, you're like, I remember exactly what this number is because I burned it into my brain by thinking about that pathway over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Okay. So way back in the day, I worked with a domestic violence, it was like court-ordered domestic violence offender classes. And so it was these guys and women that had offended and then had to do like 52 weeks of court-ordered like anger management classes. And part of the technique, and I saw it work, which was so stinking cool, was a lot of these guys did not have a good role model. You mentioned that yourself. You didn't have a good role model. So how do you know how to be a good dad, right? If we could get these folks that were struggling with this, and I applied it in my own life to other areas, sometimes you didn't have an example. So how do you know? Well, you could make up your own example. And it's not fraudulent and it's not fake, but you can piece together this, like, what would a good father, let me imagine, what would a good father do? Like, imagine him under duress. Imagine him dealing with this thing. Imagine him handling this with a calm, pleasant look on his face and in control and like, hey, son, let me, and if these guys that would spend time creating their own imaginary ideal father, they went on to then model themselves after this imaginary character, and they had some really great experiences. And we can do this with in other areas of our life, because sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know what the ideal, like the Proverbs 31 woman was always held up, this ideal woman, And I remember getting married and running my own home, and then to have, becoming a mother. And it's like, I want to be the best version that I can be. And my mom was a great example, but there were, of course, certain areas where it's like, oh, I'd like to do this better. Like, she showed me what I don't want to do, and she showed me what I do want to do, but I don't know, I never, what woman do I have in my life that modeled this? Sometimes there was no other woman that modeled this particular behavior that I aspired to. Well, then you make it up. Mm-hmm. You imagine it and you make it up.
Well, to me, that seems, because I think you're kind of connecting this with the idea of manifestation.
Yes.
With like, you can visualize it and make it happen.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a variation perspective on that consciousness, knowing your position in space and time, knowing if this action, which way is it going to take you, in the future. And so it's like, if you have bad role models, you can be like, well, me doing the exact thing I know where that's going to take me. So I don't want to do that. And then you run through the problem solving of what actions do I imagine will take me further in space and time to the position I want to be in. The thing that I think is conflicting with the manifestation aspect with that piano piece, to go back to that, like the phone. If I have I got your phone number and I'm like, I need to memorize it, and I do 543-8662. That was my old home phone when I was a kid. 543-8662. And I'm like, okay, I know how to do it. And then I just put it away. And I just reiterate that. I imagine my fingers pushing. I do that 100 times. Yeah. I got it locked in. I go back and it's like, I'm a master. He's developed a skill. Yeah. But what if it's like, what if I want Brad Pitt's number? If I sit here and think about getting Brad Pitt's number on this phone and hitting it on the first try, will I get it?
Right. No.
That's where I feel like the manifestation is more of like you're going to pull things that you never knew, never ever had before, can't even fathom.
I totally agree.
You're going to pull that into here.
Totally agree. There's an impossibility to some of these. So, and this is why for years I'm like, no, I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe in that. Where it started to click, and again, I'm not like some master manifester, like I'm not, but the idea, because what I realized was my hanging on to, I reject the idea of manifestation be for X, Y, and Z reasons. Then it's like, okay, then what? So like what I'm now left with is this like kind of a little bit of misery, and like, I guess I'll hope for the best. It was very, bleh. And so learning more about it, it's like, okay, it comes down to vibration. It comes down to that, like that being open to things, open to possibilities. And if I'm in a positive state of mind to where I'm going to notice opportunities that I maybe wouldn't have before, because like, and we got to think about it. Like if we're in a bad mood, you miss stuff. If you're in a good mood and everything's just sunshine and roses, when that crap thing happens to you, it's not as impacting. It's like, yeah, that happened. Moving on. Good thing. I have good things in my life. Like, it doesn't mean that you have nothing bad ever happened to you, but I don't know. That is what got me. I'm like, I would prefer to live life that way. I prefer to be in that state of mind. And
what this all boils down to, I think, is your intuition. You have a feeling of something beyond immeasurable. That's a connectivity that you can impact reality with just not even emotions, but some sort of frequency of who you are, your vibration, by like what you say, your vibration, which even when we think about position of self in my consciousness example, your position here, your position. Once we get to the point of going, you're like Jesus and you understand your position in all the dimensions, in hyper dimension, you can grab magic out of super dimensions. I just want to catch that fly.
With tweezers, not tweezers, with chopsticks.
Yeah. But, and then you can utilize that knowledge to benefit you now for the future, to save your soul, because you know what's important beyond just this current space-time, beyond the hyper, the interdimensional aspect or something, And because you have that knowledge, you get to use it. I think, oh my God, I lost my train of thought for a second, but I also agree with this intuition aspect, because the electromagnetic force. That's why. The electromagnetic force, there's 4 forces of our universe: electromagnetic, nuclear, weak, strong nuclear, and then gravity, supposedly.
So they say.
I like Terrence Howard's argument against gravity, and Walter Russell's. I read one of his books, an acquaintance of Nikola Tesla, has a really cool perspective on gravity being like an electromagnetic draft. But electromagnetism it's like the yin and yang of all matter, of everything. You got the electric force and magnetic force, but it's not separate. They're together. The electromagnetic, and it's everything. It's all atoms, which is every single thing. Right. We are made of atoms. This table's made of atoms. The difference is like you said, vibration.
Yeah, right. Vibrating slow, vibrating fast. Or
if you think about this electromagnetic grid covering everything, like this remote right here, and then these people right here, I like to think that if you pull, you impact the electromagnetic grid, it pulls the entire grid like this, because there's only there's literally a net zero amount of energy in the entire universe. So it's like we're all in a big swimming pool,
right?
And there's only this limited water in it. It doesn't splash out, doesn't splash in. It's this water in this cube of pool. And so when you're in it and you move, it interacts with everything. And so I like to get to the idea that maybe like attraction and manifestation, things like that, is almost like, with the Jesus thing, this is exactly where it connects. What is the self? Is it a vibrational frequency? When you die, your position in space-time is the end. But where's that self? It's the consciousness. It's the self. Who are you? Yeah. And I'm under the intuition a little bit right now that like some sort of frequency thing, like we are our own certain vibration. And that's why I liked it with the psychedelic, connecting to the psychedelic thing. When you are at your own vibration, you live in your own hell. And when you're at a high vibration, you create your own heaven. And I think of the Bhagavad Gita with Krishna. It's a Hindu book. And they also talk about praying and worshiping Krishna, showing gratitude and all that. Everybody does. The thing in Hinduism, at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, they talk about where your mind is at your deathbed is where your soul will go, pretty much. Oh,
okay. So do they think if you're like scared to death, like you're just doomed?
If you're thinking about Earth, you're thinking about my family. I'm thinking about earthly things. I don't want to lose it.
I'm scared.
You reincarnate into the earth. But if your mind is on Krishna, it's on the divine. That's why you pray to practice keeping your mind on the divine, so you can raise yourself. So because they think no one can lie on your final deathbed, because you'll be like the truth of who you are will come out at your final moment of death, and where your mind goes will be the truth of how you've raised yourself. So if you practice trying to be very religious,
in a positive state of mind, really.
If you get yourself to be divine in mind at death, then you will go to divine.
Interesting. I can see why that would motivate people to practice that way. Like there's a lot on the line.
To like pray 5 times a day, like Islamic style.
Yeah, like just
like
constantly
training your mind. When I die, I better be thinking about God, or else I'm going to be back on this hell.
Right. Oh gosh, that's like, I get it. It also sounds a little exhausting, because there's so much pulling back and forth of this self-control.
Does it sound exhausting?
It does.
What? Because you think you will naturally hang on to the material things of the world?
I think shit rolls downhill. I think it's easy to go to the lowest point.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I do think it sounds exhausting. But I want to strive to set my mind on higher things.
So the trick is, like at the beginning of this conversation, is having that gratitude in the stress. Like you want that stress, but you don't want to be stressed about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So the trick is, how do you get yourself to appreciate horrible times? And especially, it's easy to be like, I got a freaking dent in my car from a crash today. I'm pissed. How do I elevate myself? But the ultimate one is losing the people you love the most in this world in a horrific, stupid ass way. How do you get yourself to be grateful for that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I do not know, because that. I mean, I can't seem to manage that with like a slight inconvenience. It's on some days. It's like, oh no, it's like, so that's why I'm trying to practice that idea that everything works out for me, and not in a delusional way, but to me that doesn't conflict with my spiritual beliefs. Like everything does work out for me and for you, and for like if I can shift the perspective of there is a plan, there's a purpose in Ecclesiastes talks about a time for crying, a time for laughing, a time for reaping, a time for sowing. Everything has a time and a purpose. So like everything is working out. And if I quit trying to micromanage it and quit like mourning the loss and being angry about everything, it's like just being present and knowing that everything is working out for me. It doesn't guarantee or change any activities per se. It might, but also it's like, I'm just going to be a little less, I'll be more unscathed. I want to be stable. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like you want to promote action, but at the same time, letting go of control. It's like a weird balance.
Yeah.
Because action is almost taking control.
Right.
And you want to be a person of action.
I do. And there's times for action.
But you have to let go of control. What the?
How do you do that?
That reminds me of the Dhammapada now. Here's a Buddhist book. It talks about how the people who are miserable in life, it's like to get rid of suffering, it's like grabbing a tiger by the tail and being so angry that it mauls you, that it scratches you, it's biting you. The only way to truly get rid of that suffering is to let go of the tail.
Oh, right.
Let go of control.
Right. It's just right
Step
here.
away.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so how often are we doing this in our daily lives? We can see it with other people.
But does it even matter if everything is just have a time for everything? Does it even matter?
Well, I don't know, because it's, yes and no, right? Like I think this is my brain going and going and going, right? And yours too, apparently. But it's like, right, you see people that will go back to, the Bible talks about how a dog returns to its vomit. It's like, stop going back to that thing that is making you sick, right? But
there's a time for being sick.
There is a time for being sick. And then one might say that if you didn't eat that crap and get sick, you wouldn't learn to not eat crap the next time. So what do you do when you keep going back? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, it's like you're just kind of choosing what kind of adventure your character has.
Right. You know what? Yes. And here's the thing. If we keep choosing the same adventure over and over, what adventure is that?
That's exactly what it is. See, the action only matters of, okay, you're getting thrown into like Skyrim, you know, like you're going to play this game. We developed it for you. Here it is. If you don't like the way your character's going, you can't control the game, but you can play it the way you want. Right. Play it the way you want.
Right. Yes. So everything does work out for you. Also, you have a brain in your head. We're created with intelligence, and make a different choice.
Like if you like being miserable, cool then.
Right.
Enjoy it.
But I'm not
don't enjoy
miserable. I'm not going with you.
Yeah. Create the world you want. But the thing is, it's so easy to be angry at the circumstances that you couldn't control.
Yeah. Well, right. No, and no one likes to, and this is the rubber meeting the road. How I have a thing with my mortgage company right now, right? It is out of my control. They made a mistake. They legitimately made a mistake. Then they penalized me for their mistake. And they continue month after month to put these parameters and ways that I have to now, I'm allowed to give them my money only in these specific channels because of their mistake. And I can't, and I've talked to people over and over again. It's like, you can't penalize me for a non-sufficient fund. You took out more than was authorized. You tried to steal from me, basically. Like, I'm trying to pay you the mortgage. I want to pay my mortgage. We can't accept that. That's not in the form that we will accept. But you have it in your hand. Please cash the check and take my money. No, you have to send it this way. And it's like, but this all started because you guys made a mistake. I'm at the point now where it's like, I cannot resolve this. I can't. To admit that I am that powerless, it is so unjust. It truly is unjust. And I still can do nothing about it. I can continue to.
So now you can relax.
Well, and that's I'm at this crux. I am at this like everything's like. I feel it. I'm still not letting go yet, but I'm about ready to just let it go and go. Okay, this is how I'm playing this game right now.
That's the shit that gets you crazy, though. Oh, the crux. When you have just that tiny bit of hope that you can fix it all.
Yes, I should be able
That's where you go crazy.
Yeah, and I'm going crazy.
It's like driving to the airport and you're like 5 minutes away from takeoff and you're like, I think I can make it. And that's when you're so stressed. You're so stressed. But if it was already gone,
you're not stressed. I missed it.
Yeah, exactly. It's gone. No stress to have anymore.
Exactly. And your state of mind right there, your state of mind is affecting, like, you know, like we get so anxious, we get like sick to our stomachs. It's like, it's all about what your brain is doing and how it's the perspective on that situation. Because the plane's there or it's not.
That's why, like at the beginning,
I can't.
Like at the beginning when I said I had to write things to relieve my stress, it's not writing a journal for me. It's schedule. It's like I have to make a checklist.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay, I know what I need to get done.
I see.
Now I just got to go through the checklist.
Yeah.
And now it's easy. It's not let go of the anger.
You're not journaling with like flower stickers and gel pens. You're making lists.
Yeah, I just make to-do lists.
See, I am with you on that. I realized this last 2 weeks I've felt out of control. I felt working 17, 18, 19 hours a day, getting up at 4:30, going to bed at 11, all this stuff. And it's like, I'm not using my list, so I never have accomplished enough. I can't see. I have to quantify it. I need to have, the way my mind works and the way your mind works, apparently, I have to see it. And then I have to prioritize and understand that I'm probably not going to check off every single thing. But instead of going to bed with that discontent, I've failed, there's pressure, there's weight. What did I miss? Agitation.
Yeah.
That list will take care of that. I need to make my list, Jason.
Yeah, like connecting to our metaphor of the plane, it's like going, oh my God, we're like not even to Boise yet. We need to be there.
Yeah.
You know, what's the speed limit? All right, I'm going to drive this fast. Okay, I'll get there by here. If it's not done by then this is everything I can do. So if now I don't need to sit here and stress about if I'm going to make it or not, just drive the speed limit, park, do this, you know, like do the things you need to do in the best way you can. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, you did everything you could.
Yes. I don't have to, I mean, that's a big part of it. I don't have to second guess and say, oh, I failed because I was not organized, or I was just inept, or I didn't even think to do that because I didn't bother to take the time to think about it. I don't like those failings in myself.
Is this like a post jiu-jitsu, Shanti, or is this how you always been?
I've always been. I'm better now.
Because I'm like, dude, how are you? You're working this much. You're waking up that early. You're always at morning jiu-jitsus and doing these things. I'm like, holy freak. How the heck? Discipline.
Pre-jiu-jitsu, I was home with the kids a lot more, but I was like, I've always had a lot of energy. And so even when I wasn't needing to work outside of the home so much, it was still like, I'm going to get up early and I'm going to start baking muffins, and I have a craft plan for the kids, and like kindergarten's important because I homeschooled my kids. And so, no, I've always been, and I recognize that when I would take it out on my poor ex-husband and be like, I'm overwhelmed. It's like, I am literally doing this to myself because I have set an unreasonably high standard. It's a blessing to have energy. I have friends that it's like, I've been busy and I need to take 3 days off to recoup. And I'm like, how nice for you. Really? You need 3 days to recoup? And I'm glad that I don't have to do that. But sometimes I need to do that and I don't. Mm-hmm. And I judge people that like need time for themselves. And I'm like, that's not a bad thing, Shanti.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they're smiling.
The
thing is, some people, probably like us, it's hard for us to smile when shit's not getting done.
Yeah. Yes.
Because it's just like, we're like, come on, let's play the game.
Yeah, let's go.
We're here to play.
Let's go.
I'm not trying to sit around and let time pass.
If I'm not going forward, I'm going backwards. Like that's like, that's my mentality. And sometimes like it truly is a challenge to learn to just be. I love sitting out front of my house, especially in the evening. You know, the Idaho wind, that wind kicks up, and especially in the summer when it's like a warm breeze. There's just something magical about sitting there and just thinking for a little bit and not being on a device. And that's the problem. I work on my phone a lot, and I've got 2 computers and I'm always doing stuff, and it's like, just shh. And maybe that's for 5 minutes. For me, that's enough. Like sit for 5 minutes and be, but I lost my train of thought.
You know what I think is something important though, that I feel like you might resonate with this is, it's not just about getting stuff done though. It's about getting the stuff that is within your flow.
Yes.
You know, like for this podcast, for instance, or for jiu-jitsu, it's like, and obviously jiu-jitsu has a high turnover rate. People show up and then it's really hard and they don't come back. And I don't go to a jiu-jitsu a lot, like usually once a week, because it's just fulfilling enough for me where I show up and it's like in your flow. Perfect. You know, it's in your flow where you're like, but some people they're like, I'm going to start jiu-jitsu, so now I have to go 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And then they burn out. And I see that with my friends on piano all the time. They're like, I'm going to learn piano. I want to play piano now too. And they'll like start taking classical training and stuff. And I'm like, dude, just have fun.
Right.
Just find the things that you naturally have fun. Or the podcast. I have friends who've started podcasts and then they do like, you know, a few episodes and fizzle out and then they stop. And I feel like they just put so much pressure that they have to do it a certain way this many times all the time. Crazy versus like doing the things within your flow where it flows with your life.
Yes. Okay. So that's such a good point. The consistency is a big, like it matters to me a lot. Mm-hmm. Consistency in action, consistency in thinking. And so if there's something and that's why sometimes I'll be discussing something with someone and it's like, do you see there's like a huge fallacy in your logic? Like that doesn't make sense according to your own beliefs. Like how, doesn't that hurt your brain? And I'm sure I have blind spots in my own thinking, but I take that too far sometimes where it's like, if I can't be consistent, if I've committed to this thing, then I need to do it to my utmost at 110%. But burnout does happen. And so I've been working on that. Like, what is my flow? And I've been doing that a lot with morning classes. I don't like how I perceive myself when I show up to morning class. I get there on my time because it is my morning and my decision to show up at all. And I don't want to be disrespectful to Avery. And also, I am not going to be on time. Not out of disrespect, but it is. I've come to terms with this. I'm just that person.
It is too damn early.
It is early. It's freaking 6 o'clock in the morning, right? Like, and again, I don't want to be disrespectful and just think that I don't want Avery thinking, and we've talked about this. I don't want him thinking that I'm like, I don't care about your time, Avery. You're here teaching, and I'll come in when I feel like it. But I also, because I can be so rigid, I'm like, no, I'm going to come in. I'm going to. We started off class with some takedowns. I don't do takedowns. I my knees have been hurt. I'm not doing that, and I enjoyed watching everyone else do it. And but I'm doing this constant battle of going, but do people think I'm lazy? Why am I here? Like if I'm not going to make the most out of it, why did I show up? Like get
if
your
people
butt
really understand your intentions.
Yeah. Intentions are that's something that I realized, like I'm never going to have the peace of knowing that everyone understands where I'm coming from, and that's okay.
Yeah, because the only people that matter are the ones that are actually going to talk to you. And if they talk to you, they'll understand you.
Yeah, right, true.
So it's like, don't be worried about the people who just judge you and walk away. It's like, they don't even want to talk to you.
And then I'm thinking, well, how important do I think I am in the first place? Everyone needs to understand where I'm coming from. No, they don't. No, they don't. They're busy with their lives.
Yeah, and that flow state is the best because then you get to just enjoy your life.
Yeah.
It doesn't become, piano doesn't turn into a thing that I dread and don't want to do. Jiu-jitsu doesn't turn into a thing I dread. It turns into a fun thing that you look forward to. It's like, oh, it's my time to go to jiu-jitsu this time.
Yeah, yes. And that's my goal for morning class right now, because I got in there and it's like, I got what I needed out of it. Wade and I worked on X-Guard. It was great. And Avery taught us a really cool series, and I enjoyed that. And then I went home and started work.
You're a pretty like a well-known person, obviously a manager at the Alliance now, so you can get away with that. I can understand though, showing up late to class, I would feel bad because there's like a structure behind dojos and martial arts where it's like, I don't understand what you mean. Like you feel like you're disrespecting the teacher walking in late, like you're some world champion, you know, like I show up when I'm ready.
Exactly. You're all here for me. I'm not here for you. Like, no. And I don't like to do that with, I'm there working in the evening. So I'm not, if I'm late to night class, it's because I'm signing someone up or answering phone calls or helping someone that trying to find us, because we're like the speakeasy gym where you can't find us unless you know where you're going already. Yeah,
that first time I was trying to find, I'm like, where? I was driving around. They're like, there's no sign. It's right here, but I don't.
Right.
Yeah, speakeasy.
That's why I feel like I'm like, get to special knock and walk down the back of the building. I promise you won't get mugged. Like you have to know where you're going. But no, mornings. That's when I tend to be.
But because you do feel worried about being disrespectful, that is obviously the sign that you are respectful. So if the guy talked to you, you'd be like, I'm sorry.
Right.
And they'd be like, oh, she's not trying to be disrespectful.
Yes. And
she's just doing her thing.
I think Avery understands where I'm coming from, I think. And honestly, I can't do much about it. Yeah. And maybe I hope that's not lack of taking responsibility, but I'm getting up at 5:15. I'm making it to class by 6:02.
Oh, that's a 2 minutes.
He starts on time, man. He starts on time. So when I walk in there and it's like, and he's always
not like Jeremiah.
Welcome, guys. No, Jeremiah has. We're
gonna take 5 minutes, guys.
Better with that. I need 5 minutes. Maybe not 15 minutes, but I need the 5 minutes.
How old is he?
Jeremiah?
Yeah.
Late 20s, 27, 28, I think, in there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, the guy's a stud.
Yeah.
He's so cool. He's a great teacher.
He trains a lot. Is that you or me?
Is that me? Oh, it is me. I'm like, this girl phone just keep going off.
Rude. Shanti. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I was all calling him sensei the first time I was there.
He's like, dude,
please don't do that. I was like, yes.
Yes, sensei. He pleased to try and call Wes a professor, because that's the thing in jiu-jitsu land. There's a professor.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, please don't call me a professor. I'm the coach. Like, our gym really is very chill.
Yeah.
Like, I like that we have the honor and the structure, and we have like all of the things that, in my opinion, the things that matter to keep it, giving it the seriousness and the honor that it deserves without being stuffy, without being like, I don't know.
It's just cool people.
I like how we do
good
things.
people make good places.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, good people is not, I don't really seen any like bully type of people.
No, they get weeded out. They do. And it's not even
because you guys got good enforcers.
Well, yeah. We have people that handle that.
Rusty.
Right.
Go get that guy.
Johnston was the enforcer for a long time. But yeah, it's not really even necessary anymore. There's people that maybe come in like ultra spazzy. They just want to go too hard. And it's like,
oh my God.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. That's a lesson to be learned. But
yeah, my first time going to jiu-jitsu with at 10th Planet Portland, and I'm just a wrestler. I didn't have any jiu-jitsu background. And I was having fun, and I was just like, wrestling is different than jiu-jitsu in that the tempo. In wrestling, you're like boom, 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 boom. It's like shot and explosion. exploding, and it's like very cardio driven.
Dynamic.
Yeah, and jiu-jitsu is like obviously can be explosive, but I feel like there's like keeping the space tight and like being strategic, moving smart, not hurting somebody, you know?
Or chess, I guess.
Yeah, it's just being more tactical, being extremely calm and tactical versus just exploding and running with a double leg, you know?
Right.
And I was wrestling against a bunch of people, and the black belt saw me. I'm a big guy, so I'm probably bullying on some people just with my wrestling. And he came, his name is Phil, black belt at 10th Planet, Portland. And he came, he's like 150 pounds maybe, you know, and I was like 220, 230 at the time. And he's like, hey, me and you, let's go, you know? And I was like, all right, excited about it. This is an example of me doing some spazzy dumb shit that I look back, I regret. I'm like, what was I fucking doing? Oh my God, I'm so stupid. But we started going, he was doing so good. I've never even gone with like good jiu-jitsu people before. And he's all crawling on me. He's getting to my back. He got to my back. And
did he choke you?
I front rolled with a little guy on my back.
Oh my gosh.
That's the cringy. No, he choked me out after that. But I look back on him like, my big ass decides to somersault on top of a little guy on my back. What an asshole. What an asshole move. Just let me just crush you real quick.
Right. I'm gonna get you off my back right now.
But that seemed like, you know, obviously it's like kind of a wrestling instinct thing to do, like try to roll out, you know, when someone's got you or something. And
so he took care of that, yeah.
Yeah, he calmed me down a little bit. I'm still trying to get the spazziness out of me. I just need to increase my vocabulary so I can actually like work on speaking instead of just exploding.
That's great.
My cardio sucks too. Gosh, when I go in there and all those guys who go there like every day.
Yeah.
And we'll get like 3, 4, 5 rounds in, and I'm like, all right, we good? And like, all right, guys, get a drink. Let's go again. And I'm like,
throw it outside.
Or Jeremiah, he'll always be like, let's do one more, you know? And I'm like dear God, dude, no. I just gave everything in the last one. I'm just squeeze the juice out.
If I knew I had to pace myself, I could have paced myself.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's it's amazing. If I'm out like for a week, I come back. Like I get tattooed fairly frequently, and I'm always off for a week and come back, and it's like, where did my cardio go? Come on.
So it's Wade? Mm-hmm. Is that your significant other?
Yeah.
Your husband?
My boyfriend, yeah.
Your boyfriend. Oh, yeah, your boyfriend. Yeah. He does Muay Thai training at Family Boxing?
Yeah, he teaches. So Brandon Hempelman is also black belt, and he and Wade go way back. And so, yeah, they teach the Muay Thai classes at Family Boxing.
Oh, okay, so, I've seen him.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen you from a distance pop in. Oh. You have affiliation with Family Boxing somehow, right?
Yeah, because Wade... Yeah, and actually,
because of Wade.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Brandon, too. But, like, Jason and Kendra, the owners, they're like, hey, you know, you're Wade's wife, girlfriend, you know, I don't really care how they think of me, but like I'm with Wade. Yeah. And they're like, you can come train here. So I'll go there at 6 a.m.
Oh, really?
I try to a couple days a week. I've been pretty lax lately, but that's my goal. Wade and I have occasionally been on a routine of kettlebell workouts on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Those are fun and refreshing.
They are. They kick my butt and I'm sore, but I like to feel that I've accomplished something. And they're getting ready to move locations though. They've got a different spot. So do you work out there?
Yeah, I always work out there.
Man, I didn't know you were there at all. So
yeah, I love it.
Next time, holler.
Yeah, at Family Boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, next time I see you, if I see you there, we probably like they got a new facility now.
Yeah, and they've been like it's like
I'm aching to go. I can't wait till they actually open the place up. The current Family Boxing place got like nothing in it now.
It's very empty.
Yeah, I'm like, what are we gonna do here?
So I'm like, Wade, like Tuesday, Thursdays is when he goes and he coaches there. He actually checked with Augie and he's like, is that any kind of conflict of interest? And Augie's like, no, just don't be teaching jiu-jitsu at Family Boxing. You teach jiu-jitsu here. And Wade was like, well, obviously not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like, but he really wanted to make sure that he wasn't stepping on anybody's toes. And but it's been fun for him because he's got a background in that. It's fun for him to get to
in Muay Thai, specifically.
Yeah, I believe so. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, striking, all of that stuff. So
striking's my favorite. I prefer striking over. I mean, I wrestled and stuff, but striking is just so satisfying.
Striking like a punching bag or another person.
Both, but a punching bag is fun because just when you hit those right perfect hits where it just makes a perfect pop,
crack.
You know, you're like,
yeah, it's true.
Pop, 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 pop. And as you get faster and faster and get your twitch like less telegraphing, you just start to feel like a robot, and it starts to feel good. Every day before all my workouts, I do these bang Muay Thai drills. So I went to 10th Planet for like 2.5 years. Then COVID happened. I came back here, and I spent most of my time doing bang Muay Thai. In the 10th Planet, they're like an affiliate. It's Dwayne Ludwig and TJ Dillashaw, Basru, and they have like this Muay Thai program, BMT. And it's like a belt system Muay Thai thing. It's really cool. It's pretty popular now.
Okay, cool.
And I was doing that, and I just loved it. I would show up to 10th Planet to be doing Muay Thai more than Jiu-Jitsu, honestly. I did a lot of Jiu-Jitsu at first, but then as I started learning Muay Thai, I was like, this is so fun. Yeah, it is so fun. Especially with the... Boxing is so fun in general, but I just love adding in the legs with kicks. Because honestly, I probably like kickboxing more because when you spar with someone, you're not really throwing elbows, which is what Muay Thai is because you're kind of respecting your partner. You're not going to throw an elbow in their face.
Don't they call Muay Thai, isn't it like the art of like eight limbs? Yeah. Okay. I thought that was like, oh, like, wait a minute. 8, 2,
3, knees and feet.
Yep.
8, yeah. Yeah, it's so fun because it's just extra puzzle. It's like how Jiu-Jitsu has so many combos that you have to learn. Like, what could happen from here? In Muay Thai, it's like that next level of boxing where it's like, no, now I got to be worried about the legs too.
That, right?
And then if I'm like trying to dodge this is going to come up and hit me, kick me in the face. You know, it's just.
Thank you for explaining it that way because I remember the first time that I guess I had been there. It was explained to me that I'd been there long enough that people were like, well, now we're going to start attacking your legs. It was like when you're new at it, you're just thinking about getting choked and arm bars,
guard pass,
all of that stuff, right? And then suddenly one day people started like straight ankle locking me and knee barring me and all that stuff, right? And I want to get better at it because it's like I forget that I have a lower half that I could be doing stuff with. But to know in Muay Thai, you're right. There's so much to be aware of.
Yeah.
I can see
and when you clinch in boxing, they're like, break it up. When you clinch in Muay Thai, you're like, watch out for the knees. Don't step back and elbow. There's like more things to be worried about. Right. So it's just extra fun, especially just in when sparring. It's just when you spar, you switch from sparring with boxing, boom, boom, boom. You get into this flow, and then you're like, all right, let's spar Muay Thai. And you're like, and you kick a leg, you're like, oh shit. Like, now I gotta like scan the whole body constantly and get into this like flow where you're kind of, it's like more peripheral. You have to get more peripheral vision.
Does that help you get better with that stuff? I feel like I'm very like one thing at a time. That's why I'm not great at jiu-jitsu because it's like you go, then I'll go, then you go. That is not how that happens. And I find myself often waiting and being polite where it's like, okay, you just did this move. Now I'll do a move. Oh, you didn't let me do the move. You did 3 moves in a row. Oh no, I'm choking. Like,
did you do competitions?
I have. Yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I've competed 3 times now.
Nice. And how'd that go?
Good. I won gold.
How nervous were you?
Silver. The first 2, I was like basket case nervous. I had fun, but I was really, really nervous. That's the last time. It's like I'm not going to compete if I'm not going to train different. I am not going to stress about it. I am going to be up until I'm walking on, slap bumping. I'm going to just pretend like I'm having fun rolling with a new partner.
Yeah.
And it was
way better that way.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Now Wes has said, or my first coach, because he was there for that last one, and he's like, you are being really cautious. It's like you got to just unleash it a little. You're just, and I'm like, well, yeah, because I wasn't in that aggressive like competition mindset. I
we're a hungry dog.
I was not a hungry dog. It was more like let's play, Yeah. It's like you're trying, and I the ladies I went against were very good, but I didn't know at the time I was going to be getting my purple belt soon. So I think I was just had a little bit more training, but they were not easy to beat, but I beat them. But yeah, I think I'm like, what would happen if I did unleash the dog? Yeah. I don't know.
There's a necessary dog for combat sports.
Yeah,
that you got to be able to tap into.
And that's why I think I could be a lot better. I could be not just la la la.
But the thing is, I think to really harness the power of that dog, you have to be willing to be fearless in the face of injury.
You just hit the nail on the head, Jason. That has been a reoccurring thought in my head lately. I don't have insurance. I'm getting older. And I'm like, I feel like I wanted to work with Wade I needed his help I get stuck on the bottom a lot and bottom like half guard. And I know there's I'm comfortable there and top or bottom, but there's a lot of stuff I could be doing to attack from the bottom, but I end up just flat on my back. And he's like, well, you have to get up. You have to get up on your elbow. It's like, right. But then I'm in those positions and I don't want, something is guarding. Something is being, and then I realized I've injured my shoulders and they're fine now, but that whole motion of like sitting up, it's like a little PTSD of like getting pushed down and feeling that separation that I can still imagine. I know that feeling of where my shoulders separated on both, it's happened to both sides. So it's like, well, I'm never going to get better if I'm just going to lay there. So I have to get over that fear of every injury, be smart about it, be cautious.
If it's worth it though. Because you have to do the ROI on it.
On the ground. I don't want to lay there.
But it's like, what if you do get injured? And like, what the hell are we doing? Are we trying to be fucking Gordon Ryan over here?
Right? That's not good. It's not in the cards for me, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's like,
well, and I think that's it though. I got to find that space. Like I'm not a pro. I'm a hobbyist and I love it, but I don't want to do this at all if I'm just going to be miserable knowing that I laid there like a limp rag doll. That's not fun for anybody. So being smart with how I turn, angle things and get up onto that shoulder or that elbow. And then, I don't know. I don't want to get injured. I don't want it.
The other day at Family Boxing, I was doing a wrestling workout and I'm trying to really get better at my mobility. And I'm trying to get to that point where you can do like those front head springs. You see wrestlers do that all the time with like head springing forward. Yes. I'm so big. I'm like, if I try that right now, I'm going to break my neck. So I'm like warming up, doing handstands for a while. And then I try walking, and then I do like front somersaults for a while. And I'm like, man, I'm feeling good. And then, so I decided to jump and do like a jump and catch myself and then roll.
Yeah.
And the first one I do, I jump, land, I pop right here. No. Pop, and I fall on that side. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Well, I get too cocky. Look how fat I am. What am I doing, dude? I gotta be like ripped before I start doing these kind of movements.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I was like, it's because I got too excited. I'm like, I'm doing great. Handstands against the wall, easy. Handstands on the mat, easy. Let me jump into
Manifestation failed. It failed.
I thought about it a lot. What the hell? I didn't see the injury there.
Oh my gosh. Before I started jiu-jitsu, I knew I was going to be starting. And I was embarrassed that I couldn't do a somersault. Your average adult, we don't get to somersault very often.
Yeah.
I was like, I will be so embarrassed if I get on that mat and I can't somersault, which is silly. Lots of people can't at first, and then you learn.
You don't think about it though. Like it seems very fundamental.
It does.
Like
it does. Yep. And then you try it after not having done it for 30 years, and it's like, what do you mean just fling myself head first on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So I practiced in my backyard and I hurt my shoulder.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And I had to delay starting by like 2 weeks because I front rolled and hurt my shoulder on the grass. I was so mad.
Like, you're ready.
All right, here we go. Like
that's so sad, huh? That's like we're susceptible to being injured from somersaulting now.
Yes, and that was part of my disgust with myself, like in a very motivating way. It's like I do not want to age that way. Yeah. I want to be able to get up and down off the ground, and if I can somersault into my 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, hallelujah! I want that.
That's exactly what I want to right now. I feel like I've realized true youth isn't about strength. Anything, it's mobility, movement, explosive mobility, especially.
Yeah.
Because I think about, man, if there's an old man here and he's like really stiff and he's like 80-year-old guy, he's like, I can bench press 325, and I'm like, wow, and he does it, but he like can't barely walk, can't shoot a double leg, can't do nothing. Versus an old guy who like he only benches 100 pounds, but he can shoot a double leg. You know what I mean? He can sprawl, he can do. I'm like, that guy is dangerous.
I want that.
Yeah, yes. That guy can do things. He can jump. He can do. So that's why I was doing things like jumping and trying to. I do a lot of jumping now and trying to get my body used to impact and explosion. Still,
there's that. There's the eating philosophy, like carnivore, and with that comes like specific exercises. It's like branched out. There's a name for it. I'm sure I don't know what it is, but people that will do exercises that are not like your traditional looking, but it's more like these are the motions that will keep you young and fluid and limber, and you don't need equipment to do it. And I've never done it, but I've seen it, and it looks a little odd, but I'm like, that makes sense. They're just fluid. They just move. And I remember someone saying, and it's obviously true, like that's something that makes us look old and be old. It ages us. We stop moving. Everything shrinks down. Our range of motion shrinks. And you get the little old lady like hunched over and kind of like taking shuffly small steps. It's like, oh no, like head back, shoulders back, big steps, just being, and I'll catch myself sometimes, Jason. And I'm not, I don't consider myself being old. I'm 49. So technically it depends on how you look at age, right? But I'll catch myself being unsure of if I'm wearing a certain pair of shoes that maybe don't feel secure, I'll like, walk cautiously. I'm like, I feel like a very old woman right now. Like just the way I shuffled along at Costco. Like, I don't like that.
Or obviously you don't shoot because of your knees. So how's squatting down to grab things?
Well, I try. I do that a lot because I want that motion in my life. And I do shots without a partner, or shots with the partner, but not doing the takedown completely.
The duck walk kind of shot, like the step in down to a knee.
Big
step up.
That one. And I like that. And I like doing it even with a partner where I can like feel that like grab around their legs and feel that push. But the actual takedown part.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy that.
Do you feel a lot of pressure on your knees when you're doing that?
I feel pressure on my back. I'm not doing it well because I shouldn't be like bending at my waist with that. But there always seems to be a tangle in legs. And it's just because I'm not skilled enough, which practice would probably fix that. But I don't want to pay the price of practicing.
Do you ever do deadlifts?
I do sometimes. Yeah, not enough. But yeah. So my low back is way better than it used to be. But I just don't want, I don't like hurting my knees.
Or squat, I guess. Do you squat barbell?
I do sometimes. Not again,
that's what it seems
enough,
like.
Not consistently enough.
Oh, that's what it seems like a shot would be like. Because if you do get your hips under and you're underneath someone, like it's like almost like squatting if you want to pick them up anyways.
True. It's all in my head.
Yeah.
I will admit
it's like
that.
the shoulder thing.
It's in my head.
When you're on the thing, you're like, I don't want to, I'm not going to push it there.
I'm guarding. And it's like, if I just committed and did it, I probably would be just fine. Like with any takedown.
Yeah.
It's like but I tend to, it's like the whole like karate thing where it's like, picture punching through the board, not to the board.
Yeah.
I think I do that a lot with jiu-jitsu things.
Yeah.
Explosive motions.
Yeah. With the takedown stuff.
Yeah.
That's really where most of the explosion is once you're standing, getting them to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for the front flip stuff where you're like flipping over people.
Or let's say like bridging or like hip, like bridging someone, that explosive.
Yeah.
Bridge up and then shrimp out. I have a hard time with that.
Really? Why?
Just more guarding. Just more of that like.
Does it hurt your knees or
no,
back
that's
or
my
what?
low back.
Your back. Oh, so it's your back that's messed up.
I've had a lot of low back stuff. I've had in the past. It's hugely improved, and jiu-jitsu has actually fixed a lot of that. The
mobility. I heard you talking about that in that first podcast. How you were so stiff, and you were like, I gotta not move.
Yeah, don't move.
And now you move a lot, and it's helping.
Yep. And I don't want to go backwards.
Yeah, you gotta keep moving.
If I'm only showing up for 48 minutes of morning class and I can get on that mat, even if I'm only stretching in the corner, that's a win.
Yeah.
If I'm up and I'm out of bed and I'm stretching and moving and maybe doing the drill and maybe getting a roll in and going home, that is a win.
Yeah. I think of it, especially jiu-jitsu, like you were in that podcast I was talking about that you did, the first one, you mentioned how your professor at the time was like, there's a 70-year-old lady who just did a competition or something like that.
Yeah, blind 70-year-old woman.
Blind 70-year-old. And I think about it because I have a very overweight friend who he won't go to jiu-jitsu until he loses weight and stuff. And I'm like, literally, we're all built different. There's like, you got that 70-year-old blind lady to like super athletic, Gordon Ryan dudes or something. And the whole point when you show up, it's like just to increase your own knowledge for what you can do with your body. And there's like a way to do it. That's literally all jiu-jitsu is. From the Gracie family developing the Brazilian version, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu technically, before they had their fallout.
Yes.
But it's like, we're small. What could we do to manipulate the situation to be in our favor? Yeah. And it's like, so do that for your body type.
Every body type has an advantage and a disadvantage. So really nobody can say, poor me, I'm just a big guy. Or poor me, I'm just a little woman. Or poor me, I'm just a average middle-aged woman. It's like, what skills, what advantage do you have based on what you've got right now? And there's going to be something harder because of that too, but like, who cares? It's all hard.
Why do you promote jiu-jitsu so hard over like other things? Because you find this meditative state in it and you find this like growth channel through it. But I feel like there's something special still within there that you hold for jiu-jitsu than you do for other aspects of your life.
Yeah, I ask myself that often, to be honest, because I believe after talking to enough people, I understand that a lot of us feel that way. I believe it is unique and special, and I'm always chasing that, like what exactly is the magic? And you said a lot of it. It's forced meditation. It's all these great things, but I do have to ask myself if perhaps it was the time of life that it came along. It may just be that there was a time when my ex and I got divorced, it came along and it would appear from the outside that jiu-jitsu caused our divorce. It did not. And he knows that. We've had discussions, but the time frame of it, I know exactly how it looked from the outside to people that we had, to all of our friends back from California. It looked like we moved out of state, got involved with a new group. Shanti became a fanatic about jiu-jitsu, and then the marriage fell apart. That's what it looked like. In reality, no, things had been building, and because we were in a new location and had to find new things and had to look ourselves in the mirror and look each other in the face, things were uncovered, and not like deep, dark vices or secrets, but just it was like, it's kind of like, this is just us now. And when you're forced to, I don't know, look at the reality, I guess, I had to find a way to be happy. I had to find something. And I was at a stage in life where it's like, I can't, and I say this with full respect, understanding that we all have our own struggles, right? But I am the person that I am, and I could not any longer cripple myself with worry and stress and agony over someone else's mental state. And so it's like, you know what? If we're going to work, I have to find a way to be okay with you not being okay. And he was dealing with his own stuff that was just as valid as my stuff. And so when I found jiu-jitsu, it was the outlet that I needed. It was like, we're going to be just fine. We are going to be just fine, because you know what? I can be happy now. I've found this great group of people. I found this exercise. I'm finally feeling comfortable in my body for the first time ever. I've said it before, like I wouldn't go back to my 20s, because my body now in my 40s, late 40s, feels better than it ever has. And that, me finding this thing that I was so passionate about, was, I believe, threatening, because then it was like, but now you're not with me in my misery anymore. And I say that with compassion, like anyone that struggles with depression or anxiety, like, and I think we all have at different times, if that's your main state of being, it's a difficult way to live. And so when that person that's always been by your side, when it's viewed as like you're losing your support, I understand why he felt that I was no longer supporting him. And so I had compassion for that too. But that brought us into a chapter where it's like, okay, we're at a crossroads now. I'm not giving this thing up. This has brought me too much joy. And so what do we do? What do we do? So there was more going on. Obviously, it was a complex thing, but I think that jiu-jitsu came along at a time when I needed to feel good in my own body, in my own mind. And that just kind of forced us to be like, all right, we are going in very different ways. So again, from the outside, it looks like it was jiu-jitsu. It wasn't. This was a rebirth for myself. Had no idea it was going to be that. No idea whatsoever, but it became that. And so, yeah, am I infatuated with jiu-jitsu because of jiu-jitsu itself, or because of it came along at a time in life when I needed that? I don't know.
Yeah, it clicks for me while you're saying the story. It seems like jiu-jitsu has a unique aspect in bringing you everything you need for a healthy life in terms of physical. It helps you with the physical. Emotional, you have to be emotionally grounded at least while you're grappling, and like social, because of the community aspect, because you're with great people. So I've heard theories where it's like things like jiu-jitsu have kind of replaced church. Like back in the day, people go to church to be around social, to be around groups of their community. And now people kind of don't go to church as much anymore. And there's a whole lot of people who go to dojos now. Right. You know what I mean? They find their people.
Wes and I were talking about people like to tease and say like, oh, it's the cult of jiu-jitsu. Wear these certain clothes, show up at a certain time, like fellowship with your brothers and sisters in jiu-jitsu, right? All this stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, we are built for community. Yeah. We are. And so I don't know. I'm a very social person, and that was that thing. We were in a new place. I didn't know anybody. And when I found this group of people, I mean, no one wants to be needy, right? But I mean, I'll admit it. We are all needy, whether we want to admit it or not. We need each other. And if you're at a place where, even if you're an introvert, you still need people. And so I think that was just more, I was a little more willing to be vulnerable and say, no, I absolutely need to find people. I have to. And I did.
The pillar that jiu-jitsu is lacking, it seems, someone might be able to argue this, but I feel like I could argue it back, is spiritual. Mm-hmm. There's no spiritual quite groundedness. Maybe you try to relate that to the meditative aspect, but I would say that was more of an emotional grounding aspect, calming yourself down so you can be tactical and not responding with emotional and thrashingness, you know? But the spiritual aspect being removed from that honestly might be good, because it makes it more open for variety of characters from, anybody, any background of spirituality is your personal journey.
Right.
But if, the greatest supplement you could have to your life potentially could be jiu-jitsu because it helps with a lot of things. It really only does. If the gym you go to has great people.
And that's it. And I've asked this question to people who've trained elsewhere. I'm like, is our gym here unique, or does every gym have? Do most gyms, I can never say all, right? Do most gyms have their own version? I've noticed when I go to train other places and I'm observing people's interactions, I'm like, I think we all have our Shanti, our Jason, our Wade, our Izzy. Like, I think every gym might have a version, but I don't know because I'm not immersed into that. But also, I think we're special. I think our gym has a really wonderful group of people.
I think an inherent thing in jiu-jitsu in particular, out of all the martial arts, is that live grappling aspect forces you to have humility.
Yeah.
Unlike boxing, you can go to the boxing gym and bunch, but it doesn't mean you're going to be sparring everybody. And sometimes people train at boxing and then they just go home, never sparred their whole life. And in their mind, they have ego blowing up. I'll knock your ass out. I'll run into someone.
Red, and then I'm going to...
I got a good ass cross. I'll knock you out. But then and it's bad. If you do get tested the way you do in jiu-jitsu at boxing, you're probably gonna get CTE pretty quick. Right. You know what I mean? But in jiu-jitsu, you get to go hard often, and there's so many people who are better than you that you have to be humble. Like, you have to be humility. And if you're gonna stick around and learn it, you gotta be someone who's willing to accept that you need to learn. Yes. Like, teach me, please. Yes. If you're gonna come back to jiu-jitsu the next day, I mean, you can go to boxing maybe for like 1 year straight and have pretty good punching. Maybe decent footwork too, I bet. And you just walk around feeling like you're the best. Right. But you go to jiu-jitsu for 1 year, unless you're what's the guy in Hawaii who did BJ Penn? Yeah. Isn't he like a prodigy?
Yes.
Like 2 year black belt or something like that?
Because just
he probably lived there.
I'm sure
morning till night.
I'm sure he did.
But you're not gonna you're not gonna be the bad motherfucker in a year. Nope. You have to dedicate.
I can tell when people walk in and they say, and I'm not judging them whatsoever, because you don't know till you know. The people that say like, I've been doing this for like 3 months. Like when am I going to stop getting submitted? And I'm like, oh buddy, never. If that's your judge, if that's your gauge of success or not, is with, if I'm never getting tapped anymore, I don't ever tap, and I do all the submitting, you're never there. Never. So,
there's kind of a balanced calibration to jiu-jitsu too, because by the time you dedicate decades to becoming a master, you're like becoming an old man. Right. And then you got these young bucks coming in. You're like, damn it. It's like always kind of hard.
It should be so depressing.
Yeah.
It should
always going to be hard.
So disheartening. And it's not. But
it compensates for the lack of youth, because the amount of knowledge fixes that.
Wisdom.
So, but it almost like forces a calibration.
It does.
You have to, if you're going to get old, you better be good.
And that's what I wonder, if that's unique to jiu-jitsu or not. Like,
it seems like it to me, because of the ability to tap.
Yeah.
And not get CTE, get brain damage. Unlike the striking. Striking, you're going to be an old man. You're like, I'm a black belt. I've been sparring all these young bucks for 30 years. It's like,
oh, you're not going to have a conversation about that.
You're going to sound like Nate Diaz. He sounds crazy.
Oh, that. I have a friend that was doing striking for fun, and he got hit just right, and he lost part of his vision.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, I don't, and he's a hobbyist. He just enjoyed it. And he's like, I can't risk that.
That is the thing that no one talks about much. And actually, I listened to Brandon Hempelman talk on your podcast about him getting fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to talk to that guy now, because that's something no one ever talks about, is they glorify fighting and all that. But dude, like, if you're not going to be the best, you're like the highlight reel for the guy who is.
Right. That's true. That's so true. You played an important role.
Yeah. And you got what you risk is your physical health.
Yes.
Like permanent physical health.
I'm watching these fights, right? This MMA stuff. And I'm like, I'm asking Wade, because he knows so much more about it than I do. And I'm like, okay, like, is he going to be okay the next day? He's like,
that changed him.
Yes. And he's like, there are certain fights that we all know of that literally changed the course of this person's life, not in a good way. Yeah. Like, they were never the same after. Because you see these people taking a beating, and it's hard to watch. And then you have it in your head that
they're going to be okay.
Yeah, they're fine. They're going to
ice it tonight.
Yeah, it'll be all right. And then to realize, you feel I felt stupid. It's like, well, not necessarily. And of course not necessarily, because that's a lot that the human body is taking. And you
have to be built like a brick.
Yeah.
If you're going to be on top and fighting, you got to be, that's the one thing I really realized was from just sparring lots of dudes, doing smokers and stuff. I'm like, the people who are really going to be good at fighting, my body's a bitch. I like break a tendon, throwing a hook the wrong way. I'm like,
Yes.
But the guys who are at the top, you got to dish it. Yeah, they all can dish it.
Yeah.
The best ones are the ones who can just take it and like, oh, not a big deal. Let's keep going.
I have such respect for that. I'm watching now and it's like, I would be rocked. Oh,
I'm like,
disoriented. Oh my gosh. God. hold on.
Rip. Give me a second. That would hurt.
Wayne and I did a little striking back in the day, and it was like, and he wasn't punching me in the face by any means, but he would reach out and just like touch.
Yeah.
Just like to let me know, like, this
Could've.
is it. This doop, boop, boop. Even that got me to he's like, quit retreating. And I'm like, but you're going to hit me in the face.
The reaction. You got to be the dog where you're like, I'm going to give it, but I can take it.
Yeah, I couldn't take it.
You have to try to dodge, but you're not going to dodge them all.
No.
Unless you're Floyd Mayweather, I guess.
No.
But I don't think Floyd's going to make it in MMA. In real fighting, they're going to grab you.
Yeah, that keeps it so interesting, but it definitely makes me respect it. It's like there's got to be something different going on in your brain that you're able to like take that and then still, like you see, they're locked on. They're just like, oh my gosh.
Like, but talking about how the people are changed, Sean Strickland and Kamzat this last weekend, I heard Sean Strickland talking about, because now they like settled their beef,
Yeah.
And
do you think that was all for show? It looked
Probably.
very real, but also I'm like, I bet this is just because I was certainly interested in watching more so because, all the guys in the ring like, they've never had this many guys trying to keep the fighters separate before ever. Yeah. But they clearly at the end had some respect, mutual respect.
Yeah, and what Sean Strickland says is, it's like once you get locked in with a guy and take years off each other's lives, you gain respect for each other because you like learn what kind of man. And that's what the quote he said was, we took years off each other's lives. And I'm like, that's what even they realize at that level. Like, they're beating the shit out of each other, and they know they're shortening each other's lifespans right now.
Gosh, wow.
If you want to be a fighter, you got to be willing to shorten your life and impair your body for the rest of your life, because you're going to be in pain walking around going,
It makes me. This is the thing. It's easy enough for me to be like, that's not worth it. Are they crazy? But there's something about it, just like there's something about it with jiu-jitsu for me. Like there's something about that for them that they're willing to trade years of their life.
Yeah. You know why it's worth it, I think, to them? Because they're from nothing. Sean Strickland, poor dude. Kamzat from Chechnya, war-torn country. They're Mike Tyson taking off the street. You got those guys who are like, I will die in here because I got nothing out there.
Right.
So if you're like a hobbyist guy who's like, I'm down to jump in there and have some fun. And then you got I mean, you with your shoulder, you were worried about it. Was it during a competition when you were worried about your shoulder a little bit?
It was more when I was trying to. I was getting ready for my second competition, and I moved my arm wrong, and I hurt my own shoulder on somebody, and that shook my confidence.
And then it goes into your head, and then you're trying to protect it. Yeah. There's guys like Sean Strickland busted his shoulder out.
They're still going.
Yeah, his shoulder was compromised going into that fight, and he didn't give a fuck. He still was throwing that freaking punch with the right, and it's like he doesn't care. He's gonna literally give his life in that ring right now.
Yeah,
and that's fearless in the face of injury aspect.
Yes, that's a different thing, and I respect the crap out of that. I really do. I can't do it, but I can watch it.
Yeah, we choose not to do it.
There we go.
We got pretty good lives. We don't need to do it.
No, I'm happy as a hobbyist.
It feels good to not be in pain.
It really does.
Yeah, it's like nice.
I enjoy that.
I like life not in pain.
No, I fully plan on rolling till I am, like I would joke with Augie, I'm like, I might be using a walker to get on the mat, but I'll get my black belt. I'm going to get it. Like I might be a super old lady in the company, but it's going to happen because it has to.
We're going to be like, hey, at least you're not blind.
Right. Heaven forbid. Not well, yeah.
Yes.
Right? But like that's the cool thing about it. If I just keep showing up, if you keep showing up, you're going to improve, which is why I called my podcast No Natural Talent.
No natural talent.
It's like if you come in with natural talent, God bless
Lucky.
you. You are going to do great. I don't have natural talent. Your average person doesn't. And who cares?
It's about showing up.
It's
consistency. You better find your flow.
6:03 in the morning, showing up.
Yeah, and that's why finding your flow is important because it's easy to burn out. So get your flow. Stay consistent.
Yes.
If you're consistent, you're going up.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you so much, Shanti, for coming on my podcast. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you for listening. Thanks for talking.
Catch Shanti at the No Natural Talent Podcast.
Yeah, listen to Jason's.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, streaming live. No. How often do you post?
Fridays.
Really? Oh, every Friday?
Yeah, every Friday.
Oh my gosh, you are hella consistent.
Really?
All right, let's get out of here.
Bye.